Lena Dunham.
Dunham,
who is the star of Girls. You know, it was so weird. And I know my job is weird, probably weirder than any job in show business, because I was thinking about this. For the most part, I just kind of sit here and think out loud. I mean, let's face it, I don't have the luxury of an editor. Like, if I was writing...
Or tape.
Yeah, when I was writing my books, I would like, what do I think about this? And then I'd write it. I just write it. And then I'd look at it and go, I don't like it like that. I'll edit it. And, you know, and I don't feel that way anymore. So, you know, I went through that whole process where my wife said to me, you got to watch the TV show Girls, which is on HBO. And I started watching it, and I was just, like, aggravated and annoyed by the first 2 episodes. I was like, why am I watching this? I don't like it. I don't like the girl who stars in it. And so I made comments about, yeah, but it's cool because she's a fat chick and she can, you know, she's at least making a career for herself and she's the writer-director, but she gives herself too many scenes. And I was going through all the reasons I kind of don't like it. And then the next day I get on the air with Robin and I go, you know, I was watching that show Girls and I'm up to the 5th episode and everything kind of changed for me. It kind of clicked and I went, wow, this is really good. And she's kind of like a little Woody Allen in the sense that Woody Allen used to cast himself with really hot chicks, and you'd go, what the hell is that about?
Right, yeah, this is his fantasy, and nobody else's.
Like, it was bothering me that this girl, who was, you know, not a sex symbol, was with these hot guys. And I said, well, how's that different from Woody Allen? And
it took you a while to get there.
It took me a while to get there. And then there was a line in the show that I thought was brilliant, where this guy is sitting there, and he's talking to some of those girls. He's sitting around a party or a table. And he said, his phone rings, and he goes, what? Something about pounding her pussy. Remember I told you the other day?
Right.
And the girls are flabbergasted, and he goes, oh, that was just my sister. and all of a sudden he went, wow, this show's very, very funny. I like it. And then there was another moment on the show that really clicked for me where, oh, yeah, one of the guys, she just kind of says, oh, so-and-so has become trained in the Alexander technique, which is kind of gay. And I just thought that was just funny. And I kind of like, I'm not quoting the lines right. I don't remember lines.
Right, you're not verbatim. You're off script.
But I kind of just started liking the show, and I said, you know, I've done a whole 360 on the show, and I really admire the girl who writes it, and I actually like when she comes on camera, and I just, you know how you kind of start something, like, have you ever started a movie and then halfway through you change your opinion?
Or even seeing it the second time.
Yeah. So
you change your opinion.
So I felt really good about what I had to say about the show because I'm a super fan now. I mean, I really love it. I couldn't wait. I almost went to the premiere the other night. The HBO was having a premiere.
Good thing you didn't.
So my dear friend Perez Hilton, who, you know, by the way, this guy, I just have to remind him that when he had the website, and
nothing much else?
Before he was born again and he used to be fat and everything.
Right.
I believe I was probably the only radio show that had him on the radio at all.
And he was one of the meanest human beings on earth.
Oh, this was a guy who was catching shit all over Hollywood for taking people's children and drawing circles on their face and arrows and calling them ugly and fat. But anyway, so Perez kind of threw me under the bus. I'm not saying I didn't say that stuff, but like he just isolated my comments. And
nobody ever commented on you're actually liking the show?
No, they left that part out. Yeah. And then it became also that, remember I said, gee, when I see the star of the show naked and in bed with guys, it feels kind of creepy because she seems like such a young girl. It feels like a rape.
Right.
So somehow the word rape ended up in his column. And I was just like, it was like Howard Stern compares the show to rape. And as soon as people hear rape, they don't even
forget it. They don't even analyze what you're saying.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, shit. And then of course, the press being what they are, they steal Perez's article. They don't even credit him.
A lot of that was also a conversation with Linda Stacy.
You're right. Linda didn't like the show.
And none of what she said got in.
No.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared what Linda had to say. And she's a TV critic. So I felt like I was kind of thrown under the bus because I could do that with anyone. I could just take some of Perez's old columns and say, here's the shithead who did this, or said that. Or I could take anybody's comments. I could take that Alexander technique comment from the show and say that's homophobic. I mean, I could paint anything any way I want to.
And so can they.
So I kind of felt weird about it, but
everybody painted the same picture you. Somehow,
yeah.
They paint you.
Yeah. And, my reputation is so bad, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't affect my career one way or another if they sort of do a hatchet job on me.
Yeah, it's not like a Mel Gibson kind of thing.
Yeah, well, Howard Stern says it's rape, and Howard Stern says fat girls, and then Lena went on Letterman. It turned into a whole fucking thing. But of course, Letterman, they pre-interview everyone, so it sort of became a thing that I knew Lena didn't mind so much because if she went on Letterman and started talking about it, she kind of liked it. in a weird way.
Well, if you look at the show, it's all about her being self-deprecating.
Right.
And getting that whole thing.
But nevertheless, I felt bad because I really do love the show Girls and enjoy it. And I admire the girl who writes it. So
I felt bad for you, too, because I was reading it and I was like, oh, this is just, it's so one-sided.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's not the whole story. This is totally out of context.
It was a Hatchet job.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And nobody would ever say to those girls, Howard really likes the show. So, like, everybody's bashing.
So anyway, I said to Gary, would you please contact Lena Dunham and tell her that I would like to explain myself to her on the air and apologize to her because I do love the show and it makes me feel bad that she is getting the impression that I somehow think she's just a talentless little fat chick.
Who puts herself in too many scenes.
Right. Because, you know, I suppose if I had the luxury of writing a blog or being on a website, I would sit there and watch it and go, oh, this sucks. And then all of a sudden I'd start to watch and go, oh, this is really good. It's not any different from America's Got Talent. Sometimes I see people and I go, they're okay. They're not that great. And I keep watching in that 90 seconds and then I go, wait a second, there's a great moment in here. And then I go, oh, okay, I really dig this.
Not only that, some people get voted through who you didn't like until their fifth performance.
Yeah. So it's like, anyway, I don't have that luxury, and I realize sometimes my show is thinking out loud, but that's what makes it sort of beautiful.
But you know what? Also, this is the thing that bothers me the most, and people have to stop this BS. Like everybody's perfect, and everybody's first thought is their best thought.
Well, most people in the media, I can't think of anybody who works the way we do. Like when I do Letterman, you tape that show, and then afterwards they say to you, is everything cool? And you go, let me think about it. And there have been times you go, maybe I want to edit that out. And you had that luxury, and Letterman
And sometimes they forget to, or don't even realize something they said was so bad, then they don't edit it out.
So anyway, I said to Gary, hey, get her on the phone. I want to talk to her. I want to tell her I like the show. Because I really don't want it hanging out there that I don't, when I do. Because
it'll hang out there anyway, because you don't get to write what's in the rest of the world.
Yeah. And it really killed me. Like the Daily News printed it up, and I went, "Wow, they just took Perez's story and ran with it. They didn't even bother to check it. Like they just took, and they didn't even credit him. I was actually upset for him. I mean, at least if you're going to Hatchet job me, give the guy some credit. The guy who did the Hatchet job. So I don't know. It's fine, but
did Gary get a hold of her?
Well, he tried. He got a hold of her people, and she said she might call in because she had the Golden Globes last night.
Yeah, she was all over TV last night,
and she's in L.A. So. I don't know with the time difference and everything, but I hope I get a chance.
She could still be up partying.
And then I wrote a note to 𝗦𝗵𝗻𝗏, who's the producer of the show, and I said, hey, if you see her tonight, just tell her I'm trying to get a hold of her because I do feel badly that the impression is that I think she's, sort of a talentless little fat girl who, and that's not how I feel. But anyway, go ahead.
I made it really clear we were trying to get him on this morning, and they sent us a note back and said maybe Thursday, and I said we're not on Thursday, so I'm going to try to get her on tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm trying.
Okay. And by the way, the whole Perez thing, I'm not angry with Perez because I did say those things. It's not that I didn't say them. It just sort of was one isolated part of my feelings, and the sort of my conversion to liking the show was left out. That's my point.
Right.
Right. So I'm not upset with him. I just wish the article could have been a little more fair. That's all. And you know who's finally come to his senses and realized he missed the boat once again is Scott the engineer.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, like he's freaking out. Have you been listening to Howard 100 News? They're all over it. It's Scott realizes when he saw the billboard of Ronnie and the block party.
That could have been the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And now he wants back in on the block party. But those guys shouldn't even let him into the block party.
Do you remember how many times we stopped him from quitting and how you meticulously, point by point, tried to explain to him what he was doing to himself?
Yeah. You should not be back in the block party.
First of all, I never said that I wanted back in. That was
that's what I heard. I heard you went to 𝗛𝗲𝗄𝗏.
That's Ronnie's beliefs.
You didn't? You didn't go to 𝗛𝗲𝗏?
They came to me first.
Oh.
I got called and invited to do Harrah's at the end of January.
Why? They're doing fine without you.
I don't know.
Are you going to do it?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Ronnie came to me during the break, and we really need to do this when 𝗛𝗏𝗏's here. What happened was 𝗛𝘄𝗿𝗄𝗏 called Scott and asked Scott if he wanted to make a surprise appearance at this one gig for fun. Scott came back and said, I want to get back on the tour. So Scott's not being he's not being completely genuine. Yeah, they did call him and say, you want to do a one-time thing. They did not call him and say, come back.
We'll make a note and we'll do that on Monday. Is 𝗛𝗏𝗏 in on Monday?
Yes.
Howard Stern News. You guys are working it.
You want a couple other things real quick?
You got anything outstanding? I got a lot to get to. Go ahead.
I got something good.
All right, go ahead.
𝗦𝗵cie says he may not attend the upcoming block party in Atlantic City because he's, quote, irritated that the guys on the tour are making money and staffers who simply show up are not. They are simply helping to fill 𝗛𝗲 and Ronnie's pockets.
All right.
So there's an ongoing feud now, a brewing feud between Will and 𝗛𝗲, and 𝗛𝗲 now says he'll have Scott back on the block party, but Scott will have to take a pay cut and apologize publicly to 𝗛𝗲 for calling him a, quote, thief.
Where is 𝗛𝗲? Is he here?
He's here, yeah. He's here. I saw him in the hall.
Hey, 𝗛𝗲, you here? I'll cover that real quick. Oh, here he is. There's 𝗛𝗲, everybody. America's top Jew. There he is. Hey, man. Hey, you're line 3.
Yeah.
Scott claimed the other day when you weren't here that you begged him to come back to the...
So here's the real story.
Okay.
We have this show booked in Atlantic City. We like to throw in mystery guests, you know, on time for these shows. So I thought, wouldn't it be funny to have Scott as our mystery guest? He hasn't been on the show in over a year.
Sounds like a scream.
Right. I said, you know, we'll hook him up. I know... Now,
the audience will go wild.
Right.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, hello, everyone. Here's your mystery guest.
So our promoter, 𝗻𝗄𝗿𝗱, gets in touch with him, asks him if he would do it. He says he would. Now, leading up to that, after that point, I keep seeing Ronnie, and Ronnie keeps telling me all the time, this is killing him. He wants to get back. I could see it. I could see it in his eyes. It's killing him. He wants back.
By the way, Ronnie is the worst at sizing up people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Ronnie always goes, I could see in her eyes she wants it. And it's like, no, she doesn't.
Right.
I can see in her eyes fear.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I said, you know what? Look, I like Ronnie. I love working with him. He's a great guy. I want him happy. I know he's friends with Scott. I know it bums him out that Scott's not on the tour anymore. But the question becomes, look, the tour has moved on from Scott. It's really great show.
And he costs a lot of money, so what the hell?
Well, that for sure is not going to go down that way.
Right.
If he comes back, I haven't made up my mind. He's got, first of all, why he wants to come back to work with somebody who's supposedly a thief.
Well, he wants to come back because he was making great money, and now you're saying he won't even make that kind of money anymore.
Well, he's not going to because it can't affect, it's not fair that it should affect JD's money.
And you've done better without him than you did with him.
Yeah.
Where is he? What fun is this if he's not in here arguing?
Exactly.
He's looking at bowling rings right now.
Oh, is he?
He's picked out the ring, by the way, that he wants you to pay for.
How much is it?
$1,150.
Well, I told him I'd buy it for him.
Well, what are the different rings you can get?
I thought the original was like 300 and change.
Well, there are a lot of options. You almost build it like a car. There's all these options.
I always know when I offer Scott something, he's such a chazer that he will absolutely find a top-of-the-line ring.
And this is the top-of-the-line 300
Like, he wouldn't go, hey, Howard's buying it for me. I feel funny about it.
Right. If he was getting the ring, it wouldn't be top of the line.
Oh, no. In fact, I never would get myself a ring.
Are you getting top of the line?
Well, yeah, that's what we discussed on the air.
Okay.
I was just going to get the regular ring that, you know.
I realized I must have been high that
And then
day.
you offered to buy it for me, which was very gracious of you.
I'm doing it.
I appreciate that.
I didn't know you were picking out rings. I thought it was just a ring that you just get.
It's like you're getting married.
Yeah, what the fuck? I feel like I'm engaged to you.
It's covered in rubies.
Yeah, I mean, my God, this is like our friendship ring, Howard. And believe me, I deserve it. You should have done it years ago. I deserve everything. I'm the hardest worker. I'm the best.
So 𝗛𝗲 says, if he even considered letting you back, you would have to issue him an apology right now, number one, for calling him a thief.
Okay.
Although I still think you think he's a thief.
Okay.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I'm like, well, he must be so hard up for the money that he's willing to work with somebody he really feels is ripping him off.
Why did you even consider going back? Because you saw Ronnie's big...
No, because they approached me and invited me to do this at first, and I said, okay, let's talk about the possibility going forward about doing some more.
Did they offer
parties.
you Did they offer you big money to come? They did not.
No.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I told them I would do Harrah's, and then going forward.
So they offered you a lot less this time than what you used to make.
A lot less.
So this is your way of getting back in, I guess.
It's possible. I just wanted to test the waters. They invited me. They were nice enough to say, all right, you know, why don't you come down?
So why do you? Shirley wants to know, why do you want to go work with a thief?
Well, I would make sure that it's written in stone about what I got. Before, it was left very unclear. So I assumed that...
You realize now you're going to go back at much less of a salary.
I don't know if I'm going to do that.
All right.
It depends on going forward.
I'll write it in stone. You are getting much less.
Well, then that's not going to happen.
First.
Much less is not going to happen. A little less could happen. But
I like that he wants to test the waters on a product that has flourished since he left it.
Well, I want to make sure that, you know...
You say you've done better without him than you have with him.
Well, it doesn't matter. He couldn't get in the studio to promote the thing, and that's, you know, obviously, look, we're back talking about the block party, which hasn't been talked about.
Come on, Scott. Now, don't do that. That's not right.
I will say
What's
that
not right?
That's not right, Scott. You know it's not right.
Who asked you to come in here?
Don't worry about who asked me.
What do you mean it's not right? Explain yourself.
Well, now he's bad-mouthing the block party, which is wrong.
I didn't.
Sorry.
Who bad
No,
that's
what he's
wrong,
saying
'cause
is, saying is now with him. Now he's saying now with him. Now you guys are finally getting real publicity.
I didn't badmouth anybody.
He's saying
what are you
that
talking
I want
about?
him back in because he can get me in the studio to talk about the block party. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
No, he's
That's what I said.
I gotta explain things.
That's exactly what he said. I like that Ronnie's arguing with Scott.
No,
That's
but
exactly what he said.
I didn't badmouth anybody. I didn't.
So
I said
what is it gonna
they were
be?
gracious enough.
But you're not being
How
honest,
much, Shuli, how much are you going to cut his salary by?
Well, first of all, he's not being honest when he's saying that, you know, I'm going to test the water. Look, you told me to my face, I made a mistake.
Well,
I
I
want to
said
do this again.
I would like to do some.
He told me he needed the money, but I also
you're
said,
painting a picture.
dude, let me talk, all right? He also said, I've been saying to him for ages now that he should come back. He should have never left.
Right.
And it was his pride and his principle and all that nonsense. Okay.
Principle.
I enjoyed doing the block parties. I'm not going to deny that. I did. So
You didn't act like it at the time.
You sure didn't.
Well,
You were
I mean,
miserable.
And you did, and you did so little at these, and that's the thing now. So if he does want to come back, and I do, and it's got to be approved by Ronnie, it's got to be approved by JD. I'm not going to make this decision on my own. This is our show.
Right.
So if he does
all
come
of a
back,
sudden it's your show, and then when us three were together, it was you guys' show, and I was left out of it. All of a sudden,
if
now
you come
JD
back-
has say.
if
Yeah,
you
but
come
you-
back, it
See,
still
that's
won't
what I
be your
mean.
show.
No,
See,
no,
that's what I mean.
Dude,
You
but
guys-
all you did was
and
complain
then
all the
Ronnie
time.
always throws his hands up. I have nothing to do with it.
But it
So
was
why
your
discuss-
show.
But Julie, why discuss stuff with
But I
Ronnie?
told you never to leave, didn't I?
Wait,
did I
Julie,
tell you never to leave?
Scott, it was your show. It
Yeah,
was.
and
but
they-
you weren't happy with what you were being
No,
paid.
they excluded me from.
JD's happy.
They
being paid
excluded
what
me
he's
from
paid.
the decisions when they made them.
Well, they
No, we
exclude
didn't
JD
exclude
from
you.
that decision too. What they're going to pay.
And we
They
didn't
just tell
exclude
him.
you from any decision. You excluded us.
Wait a minute,
When
Scott.
Obviously, you
when
guys
you
decided
flake-
that you were going to get more than I got.
But
so
here he goes with you guys again.
you already
He
you see
does
now
nothing.
Ronnie Shuli just said
I
you have to
have
discuss it with
nothing-
Ronnie, and now you're saying you have nothing to do with it.
Not with money.
What?
All I
Not
know
with
is at the end
money.
of the day,
Scott.
at the end of the weekend, a guy hands me an envelope with a check in it, okay? That's it. Whatever's in there is mine. That's
Okay.
all I know.
All right.
I don't get a set amount.
That's
Whatever
fine.
it is he hands me,
Whatever you want
that's
to
what
say.
I get.
Whatever
You never complained about it. In
No.
other words.
No.
And that's all Scott did, and
Scott.
did nothing.
And then it was always with the traveler
Scott, it
agents.
sounds like
I
to
need
me-
this kind of seat. I'm not happy with that. Why are we flying at this time? Why are we going at that time? Just get on the fucking plane and go. We all go, man.
It's like we book a show.
Scott, it sounds
Stop
to me.
being so anal.
It sounds to me.
Anal.
It sounds to me like you're going to come back into this thing. Even if you do, it's at a much less. I mean, I don't know how much less it is.
Right.
And then.
I don't know either. We didn't really discuss that.
And it sounds to me like they're doing fine without you. So
well,
you
that's
don't have,
fine.
You don't have
I
a
mean,
big bargaining chip.
that's fine. I can live without it, but
Yeah.
I could be fine without it.
So, guys, what do you vote? Let's
Why
have a
you
vote.
do? Here you go again. Here you
I
go.
can. I've been living-
Why are you being like an asshole now?
Ronnie, what's
Because
your
I
vote?
like being
Do you
like
want
an
him back
asshole.
in?
I always said he never should have left.
Ronnie's the one who's been
How
pushing
much money?
for him to
pushing-
come back
I've
in.
been pushing for him to
tell
come back.
Scott how much money he's going to get a show.
I heard 40% less. Is that true?
Is it 40% less?
I would say he would be making half of what he made.
Half, 50% less.
Yeah.
I love looking at Scott.
What a pain.
Scott, they're offering your old job back at 50% less.
Well, it's up-
And I would have a contract written up stating that, and when you do quit this next time, if you do come back,
He will.
I keep the bowling ring that Howard's buying
Oh,
you.
boy.
And you have
No,
to kiss
that's-
my ass on the street.
We know that's
or
not
in
going to
here.
happen.
Scott,
None of that's gonna
are you
happen.
going back for 50% less?
Well, that's something I'll think about. I don't know. I don't know if I can.
Is there room to move up?
That's
Is there an incentive or bonus that he could receive?
Look, I know. If he does come back for 50% less, it's 50% more than anyone else is giving him right now.
That's true. He's
Yeah.
getting
But my question is, if he's a good employee, and if he's loyal,
Robin, the question becomes.
Well, Shuli, I understand your dilemma. In other words, when you brought JD in and gave him Scott's salary, all of a sudden now you have to come up with a salary for Scott as well.
Exactly.
And so he kind of screwed himself because he was the guy.
Right, he quit.
I'm not going to say I didn't screw myself. I'm just saying that they were gracious enough to offer me, so I inquired with Shuli about what about going forward. Is it possible that
Now,
I
what if they say your flight arrangements and you don't like them? Are you going to complain?
I'll have to deal with whatever it is.
I'm on it a bulkhead.
Yeah, but and here's the other thing. The other thing was he was guaranteed an X amount of dollars every show. Okay, even if we got $2,
Right.
he would get the whatever he was supposed
Aren't
to
you
get.
bitter that you guys have kept the Ronnie's block party going He left.
Scott wanted it to crash.
He was hoping you guys would fail.
No, I did
Scott,
not.
To quote Scott, we could replace me with anybody. It was his idea.
You're a hack.
I'm a hack. I'm a liar. I'm a thief.
And wasn't there an attempt to start Scott's block party?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
the Black Cloud Tour.
He ran he ran into Sal and Richard right away.
The Black Cloud Tour.
He's starting.
So what are we going to do, guys? You're offering him his old job back at 50% less money.
I didn't talk money with him. All I said was you never should have left, number one. Number two, I was always put up for him to come back. And
all right, well, there it is, Scott. I guess you have your foot in the door again, but I don't know.
Thing, I got to figure out a place for him in the show.
And wait a minute. And the other thing I want to address, the other headline thing with Will that he's saying, that's 𝗛𝘄𝗿𝗍. He invited the whole world to come down there.
Listen, we're offering whoever is here that wants to come down to Atlantic City from the staff. We offer.
In other words, it's an opportunity to party.
A hotel room for the weekend on us.
You'll probably get laid out there.
You know, you get treated like a star out there. Everybody loves you. Everybody wants to take your picture.
In other words, you said to some of the guys, "You want to come to the block party?"
Well, it wasn't they. It was 𝗛𝘗𝗍𝗍.
Well, either way, it's not something that we need. Like, if they want to come, great. If not, whatever. We're still going to do the fucking show.
All right.
And I have to figure out now where Scott fits into this show, because JD and Ronnie have a good chemistry on stage.
Well, if it's such a fucking problem, then don't worry about it. I don't see. Well, you just bitching and moaning. You gotta. It's the same shit as before.
He's trying to figure it out.
This is supposed to be a negotiation of you coming back, and already you're arguing and yelling with me.
That's right. That's what I do. That's what I do best.
Well, you want to know something?
But why?
I'm a pain in the fucking ass.
Why do you gotta be like that?
I got to keep you guys on your toes.
Well, you know, if you're trying to figure out a place for him to fit into the show, I think of him as a lamp. You know what I mean? You just slide him into a corner.
One where the bulb doesn't work.
Actually, we got so much shit now that we add in, like music now. We're putting in like
but
parodies.
Ronnie, I got to think of something that he can't fuck up.
But he's got to be the DJ.
Right.
He's got to run the stuff.
Ronnie, it's on a cell phone. He's plugging it into his cell phone.
No, he can't do it on a cell phone.
I called his phone, his DJ equipment, in the middle of him DJing.
So in other words, the show has evolved.
Scott's DJ boy.
The show has evolved.
Yes,
that's fine. You know what? That's fine.
Without him.
I've been living without it for the last 6 months, so that's my life. So I could live without it. I mean, you know, I'm not going to get down on my knees and beg somebody for something. Okay? If the reason I inquired was they called me, I didn't go to them.
Who's they?
Imagine
𝗛𝘗𝗍𝗍.
I didn't call you. I've been saying all along.
Well, because you have nothing to do with it. You throw your hands up. So
exactly.
Yeah. So.
But I told you never to leave.
You did. So I did. But
sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone. Joni Mitchell.
Exactly.
Big yellow taxi cab in a parking fucking lot. All right, guys. It sounds like this hasn't been all worked out. We look forward to more bulletins.
I'm going to say this weekend we'll do the Atlantic City coming up. You'll be our mystery guest.
Yeah. That was another thing. He was supposed to be the mystery guest. He goes on the wrap-up show Wednesday.
I didn't bring it up at first. It came up here.
All right.
And we'll see after that.
He already screwed that up.
Yeah. I'm going to screw more things up. So look out.
Thank you. All right. You're a star.
I want off this tour now.
Yeah. Well, I think you're flirting with disaster, but we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you, John Lieberman.
Okay.
Good job, boys.
Mr. Engineer, sir.
Handsy, truly, listen, relax.
Yes.
It's me. Relax.
When are you going to learn to accept the roles you've been given around here?
What are you talking about, bro? That's what I'm trying to find out.
No.
It's a money-making opportunity, but your personal pride is so intertwined in everything.
It is. I maybe that's one of my faults, but, you know, I feel that, you know, that's the way I am.
But this is a nice chunk of change you're turning down.
It was a nice chunk of change.
Well, yeah, exactly.
The alternative, not a nice chunk of change, so we'll see what we can do.
You sleep easier at night knowing that you stuck to your principles.
I do. I sleep like a baby.
And at times you act like one. I didn't say that.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're not supposed to make any comments.
Sorry, you're right.
You're not supposed to be visible behind the camera.
You're right. I'm acting like a stubbly asshole.
That's right. You're a stubbly asshole, and go back in your corner and go drive that bus again.
Thank you. This went very well.
I'm sure.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
The mainstay in all of this madness is you. You're the only one who seems to get it. You show up. You make a nice chunk of change.
Whatever it is.
Meet some guys, meet some girls.
You know what he doesn't understand, Scott? He was guaranteed money, no matter what. Every venue is different. That's what he doesn't understand. You got smaller venues, bigger venues. Some you get more money, some you get less money. So some venues I get less money. Some venues when they hand me an envelope, whatever it is, it is. You know what I'm saying? He was guaranteed no matter what. If we sold 2 tickets, he was guaranteed X amount of dollars no matter what. He should have been fucking happy with that. And that's what he doesn't get. And that's why I don't get why he thinks he's getting ripped off.
You tried.
What can I say?
There's only so much sense you can try to talk into a big bald head like that.
Yeah, well, he's got this whole pride thing. It's a matter of principle and all this. But you know what? He does want to come back. And he told me he wants to come back. He didn't beg. But
Well,
he does want to come back.
I think it's the amateur bowling. I think it's gotten to his big bald head.
By the way, I turned 59 on Saturday. I want to thank Fred Norris. He gave me a gift. Robin gave me a pen. Well, that was for Christmas, wasn't it?
But I'm sending your gift over today.
I don't want your gift.
You're getting it. What am I going to do with it?
Like it or not?
Well, Fred got me. I was talking on the air. Who was the artist that was in here when I wanted to play drums? Was it Natalie Maines?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Fred got me one of these things that I think I saw somebody in some band playing.
It looked like a cigar box.
It's a big giant box. Is that how you play it?
You're supposed to sit on it, and it's like there's like...
Yeah, you got to muffle it.
And I guess the port that's on the back, that faces that goes like out where your asshole goes.
You sit on there, you put that up your ass.
No. Well, it's not that kind of toy.
There you got some bass going now. Are you sitting on it?
And I guess you can do all kinds of different manipulations with it. You can pound it on
Get different
the side.
sounds?
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds like a snare.
Yeah, it's supposed to have some sort of like snare inside there, too, if you get into a certain spot.
See, if Natalie was here, I could play now.
So why don't you do your famous solo?
I'm
Can
vibing.
you do that?
That's not bad.
Vibing to what?
I'm vibing. Oh, you
Is
want...
that the music in your head?
This is from...
Inagata Devita.
No. That was Ringo. That was...
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a different... Golden Slumbers Carry That Weight.
Oh, I can't do it. Wait. Oh,
I don't know. You lost it.
Fuck.
Can you use sticks with that thing too?
No.
No.
You're going to mark it up if you do.
So let's jam. What do you want to play?
Get your guitar, Fred.
I was going to try and find the Beatles thing for you to play along with.
Oh, wow. I was drumming. My ring completely broke.
Oh, stop.
I lost the whole top of the ring.
Wow.
You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything. You got to be funny in here. I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's going to be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
What happens when Howard Stern's staff asks him the questions they've always wanted answered? It's time to Ask Howard with Rachel Fine.
All right, we're going to jump right in. I got all kinds of questions for you today.
All right, I like Ask Howard. Let's do it.
Question from Greg Carmel at Howard TV.
Look at that, Greg. Is he a handsome boy or what?
He's handsome.
Yeah, I like Greg. Greg is the guy who follows me around with the camera a lot. And a lot of people don't know about Greg is that he writes a lot of the jokes and things that we use on the show.
I did not
He's
know
one
that.
of the guys. Well, a lot of the guys write for the show. Your husband, Richie Wilson, contributes a lot of stuff that they see. You know, people don't know that. A lot of these guys don't get credit for writing some of the stuff.
Well, he had a question for you. Here it is.
Who do you think will have the most successful career after you retire?
I think they'll all be lost without me. But that's the way I need to think. Who would have a successful career? You know, you never know. We had, you know, Gary will tell you this right away. There was a guy, 𝗦𝗫𝗄𝗿𝗍, who used to be our intern, and now he's a very successful comedian. You don't know who's going to be the most successful. I happen to think the people who work with me are incredibly skilled. I think Gary is a great executive producer and only gets better and better. So I think anyone would be lucky to have him working somehow in their organization. You know what I think of Fred. You know what I think of Robin. I think they're big talents. I think they can do just fine without me. Benji is an excellent writer. I think he can do really well. I think he could find work. And you know, these people wouldn't be working for me if I didn't think they were valuable.
Sure. Is there anyone you worry about, particularly when you're going off the air?
I worry about JD. Not that I don't think JD couldn't find a job. I think he could. But when I see JD, I sometimes find him so... He's almost like one of those kittens I'm fostering right now. It's like I find him heartbreaking. When I look into his eyes, I find him heartbreaking. I want to give him a big hug. I don't think he's had that. And I do worry about it. I worry about all the guys who work for me. I think I might have even gotten out of radio at some point, but I feel very dedicated to this group of people. And I would actually be upset to break up the group because they're so dedicated and so talented. I really feel that way.
Next question is from John Hine.
What change in your life are you most proud of?
And what's the one thing that you'd still like to change?
Well, I think therapy has actually gotten me to change. And I think the biggest thing was it was very hard for me to settle down and appreciate a woman. And so rather than trying to grab every woman I could find and be on this mad rampage, I became very satisfied with what I had, as opposed to looking at what I didn't have. And I saw the constant grab at sex as almost like a childish kind of like approach to life. And it wasn't causing me that much happiness. I was actually being mean to people, and people were being mean to me. I was being used, they were using me, and I saw that whole mess in front of me all of a sudden clearly. And I was able to really focus and be a good husband now and be in a good relationship.
And is there one change you're still working on?
Oh, I'm working on a lot of changes. I'm constantly working on being a better listener, being less self-involved, and believe me, I got a long way to go. But yeah, I work on that stuff.
Richie Wilson from Howard TV asks,
aside from agreeing to do this interview, what is your biggest regret professionally?
There are some people I've said some things about that I do regret. Maybe it wasn't fair. I was very angry. I still am angry, but I was an exceptionally angry young man. I had no guidance. I had no help. I had a tremendous chip on my shoulder, and it was take no prisoners. And sometimes, like with 𝗦𝗵cie𝘄𝗿𝗱, for example, that wasn't fair. I felt that I don't know what my anger was. It wasn't really towards Soupy. It was more anger, an insatiable urge to be heard, to be listened to by management, almost irrational. So when I saw something else going on where somebody got more love from management or came in and got something, I was like a hungry bear that was going to knock someone out of the way. And so I did do some things I do regret that I don't think were appropriate. But, you know, maybe that's just the way it had to be. So that's that.
Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with us today. This was very informative.
Wow, it was so wonderful. What a show, Ask Howard. And what production values. Look at it, 2 chairs and a screen.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything. You gotta be funny in here. Can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's gonna be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
What happens when Howard Stern's staff asks him the questions they've always wanted answered? It's time to Ask Howard with Rachel Fine.
All right, we're going to jump right in. I got all kinds of questions for you today.
All right, I like Ask Howard. Let's do it.
Question from 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄𝗿𝗱 at Howard TV.
Look at that, Greg. Is he a handsome boy or what?
He's handsome.
Yeah, I like Greg. Greg is the guy who follows me around with the camera a lot. And a lot of people don't know about Greg is that he writes a lot of the jokes and things that we use on the show.
I did not know
He's one of the guys. Well, a lot of the guys write for the show. Your husband, Richie Wilson, contributes a lot of stuff that they see. You know, people don't know that. A lot of these guys don't get credit for writing some of the stuff.
Well, he had a question for you. Here it is.
Who do you think will have the most successful career after you retire?
I think they'll all be lost without me. But that's the way I need to think. Who would have a successful career? You know, you never know. We had, you know, Gary will tell you this right away. There was a guy, 𝗦𝗵cie𝘄𝗿𝗍, who used to be our intern, and now he's a very successful comedian. You don't know who's going to be the most successful. I happen to think the people who work with me are incredibly skilled. I think Gary is a great executive producer and only gets better and better. So I think anyone would be lucky to have him working somehow in their organization. You know what I think of Fred. You know what I think of Robin. I think they're big talents. I think they can do just fine without me. Benji is an excellent writer. I think he can do really well. I think he could find work. And you know, these people wouldn't be working for me if I didn't think they were valuable.
Sure. Is there anyone you worry about, particularly when you're going off the air?
I worry about JD. Not that I don't think JD couldn't find a job. I think he could. But when I see JD, I find him so
He's almost like one of those kittens I'm fostering right now. It's like I find him heartbreaking. When I look into his eyes, I find him heartbreaking. I want to give him a big hug. I don't think he's had that. And I do worry about it. I worry about all the guys who work for me. I think I might have even gotten out of radio at some point, but I feel very dedicated to this group of people. And I would actually be upset to break up the group because they're so dedicated and so talented. I really feel that way.
Next question is from John Hein.
What change in your life are you most proud of? And what's the one thing that you'd still like to change?
Well, I think therapy has actually gotten me to change. And I think the biggest thing was it was very hard for me to settle down and appreciate a woman. And so rather than trying to grab every woman I could find and be on this mad fucking rampage, I became very satisfied with what I had, as opposed to looking at what I didn't have. And I saw the constant grab at sex as almost like a childish kind of like approach to life. And it wasn't causing me that much happiness. I was actually being mean to people, and people were being mean to me. I was being used, they were using me, and I saw that whole mess in front of me all of a sudden clearly, and I was able to really focus and be a good husband now and be in a good relationship.
And is there one change you're still working on?
Oh, I'm working on a lot of changes. I'm constantly working on being a better listener, being less self-involved, and believe me, I got a long way to go. But yeah, I work on that stuff.
Richie Wilson from Howard TV asks,
aside from agreeing to do this interview, what is your biggest regret professionally?
There are some people I've said some things about that I do regret. Maybe it wasn't fair. I was very angry. I still am angry, but I was an exceptionally angry young man. I had no guidance. I had no help. I had a tremendous chip on my shoulder, and it was take no prisoners. And sometimes, like with 𝗦𝗵cie𝘄𝗿𝗱, for example, that wasn't fair. I felt that I don't know what my anger was. It wasn't really towards Soupy. It was more anger, an insatiable urge to be heard, to be listened to by management, almost irrational. So when I saw something else going on where somebody got more love from management or came in and got something, I was like a hungry bear that was going to knock someone out of the way. And so I did do some things I do regret that I don't think were appropriate. But, you know, maybe that's just the way it had to be. So that's that.
Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with us today. This was very informative.
Wow, it was so wonderful. What a show, Ask Howard. And what production values. Look at it, 2 chairs and a screen.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hein and Gary 𝗏𝗏𝗏. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
On Monday's wrap-up show, PGA champion golfer Keegan Bradley stopped by the wrap-up show. He's a huge fan of our show. Talked about all the Baba Booey's. Talked to Scott 𝗏𝗏𝗏 a little bit. Even said that Tiger Woods asked him, what the hell is all this Baba Booeying about? Here's how it all went.
Scott 𝗏𝗏𝗏, why are you here?
You invited me down here.
Why did I invite you down?
Well, because Keegan Bradley's going to be here.
Yeah,
you thought it would be great for me to be here.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the second part, but Keegan is here to hang with us on the wrap-up show today, and we're going to talk to him about a bunch of stuff here in your pal Duffner being on last week, and those tweets that you had going back and forth were pretty funny. And I know Scott is head over heels to actually meet you. But welcome. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Very cool to have you in here. I know
Wait
how
a
big
minute.
of a
I'm
Stern
not
fan
like
you
a
are.
chick or anything.
You're a lot like a chick.
I happen to enjoy golf. Keegan's a golfer.
Right,
That's
but
great. That's pretty cool.
I got word through the grapevine that Scott was very upset. I brought Keegan Bradley around on a tour, and Scott was busy and he didn't get to chat. He didn't get FaceTime.
Not upset. That's not the right word.
Bummed. Okay, that's the
Okay,
guy
it was
version
an
of upset.
inopportune moment.
And then he goes to me at one point on the intercom. I got the video up of Keegan of Wesley Walker's. What's his name? I got the video up of Wesley Warren's balls. If Keegan would like to come back and see it, I'm like, no, I'm going to let him hang.
I thought he might like to see it. No, actually, Doug was showing a lot of different people. It's like our version of 2 cups. So you'll watch someone's reaction.
Dude, he's blushing. You're blushing. You.
Hey, we all got golf groupies. Mine just happened to be balding men on the Howard Stern show.
But I would imagine you deal with groupies constantly. I don't know if they're like Scott asking you to play all the time over the air, but you've got to deal with that wherever you go, I would guess, right?
Yeah, hey, listen, anybody from the Howard Stern show wants to play golf with me, I'm in. So.
Yeah, hold on. Jackson and I are going.
Yeah, hey, I like I said, I grew up with this show, so any of you guys want to play golf, normally I'd say no. For you guys are in whenever you want.
You don't want to see Gary swing. It's pretty bad.
What we were going to ask is, Jason was saying, like, he's taking some huge money to go play golf with regular people. Do you get hit up all the time? Is it like everybody wants to golf with you just to say they golf with you?
Yeah, I mean, now you got to try to manage. You can't go do all of them, but there is opportunities that you can go out and play and make some money on the side. But
does all the golfers do it? It's like everybody does it.
I mean, people do it if you're able to. If people, hopefully, you played well enough, people want to come play golf with you.
Well, yeah, what if you have a bad round or you're not sociable that day? You feel bad?
The worst is when you go out there and these guys are all trying to beat you and they they're too excited. They're running around, but I'm happy to do it.
What was it like hearing Duffner being on the show? I mean, were you happy for him? Were you jealous as hell? Combination of both?
I was happy for him, but I was so jealous. I mean, I grew up with this show, and to see Duff on here was brutal. But I thought he did a good job. But it was tough. Yeah.
Keegan was telling me in the green room before that before you hit it big on the tour, you have to sort of drive. What do you call that? The Hooters tour?
Yeah. Well, at the time it was the Hooters tour. Yeah.
You have to drive yourself around. So that's when you were listening to the show a lot, right?
Yeah. When I was on the Hooters tour, I didn't have a lot of money, and I drove around a Ford Focus with the mirrors were taped on, the whole thing, and I bought a portable Sirius player, and you guys were the guys who kept me company. I'd have to drive from Georgia to Texas and by myself, and I just replay the show over and over. And like I said, when I was down or had a tough round, you turn on Howard Stern, and it kind of reminded me of being home, and it relaxed me a little bit.
As a longtime fan, you'll probably say Howard, but other than Howard, who's your favorite? Like, who's the guy on staff that you sort of like when he comes in and you hear him, and who's the least favorite, like you want to turn it off?
I love Sal. I get to meet Sal and Richard today. I was shocked to see how normal the two were when I met them, but I love those two. The guy who drives me the most crazy is probably Benji, a little bit.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times he's joking around too much, but I love him too. It's tough for me to say anything negative about this show.
Now, did it surprise you that this guy over here wants to make out with me for 15 seconds so he can sit on the couch during Metallica when they come in?
Not one bit. I would be surprised if these two doing anything.
I bet Scott DePace would make out with Keegan right now.
No, thank you.
Would you make out with Keegan to play a round of golf?
No.
Hey, we'll do it anyways. We'll get it. We'll play around.
I wouldn't grab his ass to play around the golf.
Wait, you touched Casey's cock for an Xbox.
I didn't touch his cock. It was his leg, and then when I got
your pinky on his dick.
When I got to his underwear line, I said, "Oh, I feel his underwear," and he goes, "That's it, I'm out."
What about if you got to like caddy at the Masters or something like that? Would you do that?
Par 3 contest at Augusta.
I would love to do it, but not for anything gay.
Par 3 contest at Augusta. He just said
pretty good. What do I have to do?
Oh man, you can make out with Richard. I'll do it.
No, I don't think so.
I want to ask Keegan about what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, all the Baba Booey's on the tour, and you're different because you're such a fan. You've actually been encouraging people to do it to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take credit at all for the Baba Booey's because clearly this show is humongous. But earlier this year, I was egging people on Twitter. I was like, Howard Stern fans, scream out Baba Booey to me. And at the Ryder Cup, which is a huge event, team event, USA, I really wanted them to yell. And I feel like that was the tournament that it really started to go crazy. But But I encourage it. I love it. I feel bad for Ian Poulter saying something not to say it because he's going to get it really bad.
He's asking for it,
especially this week here in New York or New Jersey. He's screwed.
Is there anybody else that on the tour that drives crazy, like a guy that can't stand hearing that kind of stuff?
Well, I think the majority of the guys hate it, but I love it. I encourage it. Most of the time when I get to the first tee, my player that I'm playing with will go, this is going to be brutal playing with you with all the Baba Booies we're going to hear today. So, but it's cool for me to just be a part of the show, and people are way into it.
But what percentage of them know what it is? Does Tiger, is he aware of the show?
Well, he's asked me that he's the guy who came. I played with him at the PGA the first 2 rounds, and he came up to me on the first tee and he goes, "There's going to be a lot of Baba Booies with you today." he's asked me before what a Baba Booie is. And, I most of the time they don't know, but sometimes I feel like they do know, and they're just trying to be cool about it.
Somebody had a hilarious idea at the meeting the other day. They said, Gary, you should go to this tournament this week in Jersey and yell out, "Me!"
But does the PGA give you guys any direction? Because, we keep reading these articles from, especially these old school golf guys, that, it's bad for the game, it's bad for the game. But then I keep reading a lot of articles. Like there was a great article last week that said Howard Stern is good for the game of golf because he's talking about it, he's bringing people to watch the game. But do the PGA guys give you any ruling on whether you should, say anything about it?
I think it's great for the game because I feel like the Howard Stern audience isn't exactly the guys that are tuning into the tour. So I think it's great, but it's definitely gotten really crazy over the past month. It's gone from a lot to even more to now it's every shot. I mean, I get 300 holes sometimes in a major tournament. For me, it's really cool because I'll get like super obscure ones. Like they'll yell out Darth Nihilus or Fire Benji or like crazy, like obscure Howard Stern. Like if somebody yelled it, no one would have a clue what the hell they're even talking about.
My life's annoying.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Are there any other Stern fans on the tour?
There are for sure, but
closeted.
Closeted. Actually, on my PGA Tour profile, I list Howard is one of my idols and one of my favorite things. And I guess our publicist for our agency, or I don't even know if that's what you'd call him, but he came to me and he said, "Listen, I really don't think that this is a good thing. We should take him off." And I was like, "Hell no, keep it on there." So I'm very proud of being a Howard Stern fan.
And when you guys are playing, I mean, you're pros. You're blocking most of that stuff out, I would imagine. I know it's affected some guys maybe once in a while, like it was written about Sergio and a lot of, but when you're playing, you're in the moment, and I guess you love it because afterwards you kind of take it as a congratulatory thing. So I would imagine it's not as distracting to you as it may be to other people. Or is it not at all because you're so focused on what's going on?
I don't find it distracting at all. I feel like if people are talking about it, they're going to get distracted by it. People wait till you hit. And even if they don't wait till you hit, if you're not focused in enough and hear that, you're in deep trouble anyways. So I think they're fine.
We were talking about this last week. I don't want to get too deep into it. But do you think that golf is like baseball? In other words, if somebody's throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to Big Papi, everybody's cheering, right? He can block that out. Do you think that that it's just too old school? Do you think that one day people will yell during an entire golf tournament, and should it matter?
Well, that's the thing. If we grew up with golf where people were yelling and stuff, it wouldn't be that bad. It's just like if one person yells, it could screw you up. If everybody was yelling, it'd be totally fine.
Like white noise.
I think it'd be great. There's certain tournaments like in Phoenix, it's crazy, and it's kind of like that.
I can't imagine when the Ryder Cup comes out to Bethpage, that's going to be nuts here. Because I'm guessing Philly, Long Island, around here, that's where you hear it because that's like the heart of the Stern Show crew.
Yeah, I get it the most in the Northeast, but I get it all over. I mean, I got him at the British Open in Scotland.
What?
I mean,
we were saying Baba Booey isn't a thing till it gets to the British Open. It got there?
It got to the British Open. That was when Howard did his golf video.
Right.
And I did an interview with 𝗛𝘄𝗿𝗍 over in Scotland, and people were screaming it there. I mean, it's an awesome thing. I love it. I'm trying to encourage him to do it more and more.
Let's talk about that video. Can he hit a ball 300 yards?
Come on, be honest.
Well, Howard's my idol. If anybody could do it, it's him. Put it that way.
You sound like a North Korean.
Yeah.
Because Scott here insists there's no way he's hitting it.
I'm putting that thing at 160 yards.
I'm too scared to go against Howard, but I put it this way. I couldn't see where it ended up. It'd be very difficult for him to do that.
Now, Whack Packers, you got a favorite there?
Well, I'm from Vermont, so Bigfoot's my favorite. I absolutely love him, but who I love, we haven't heard in a while, is Crazy Alice. Is she still around? Or?
She is. I don't know what she's up to.
Yeah, I recently on the satellite years, I was hearing some Artie versus Crazy Alice clips that I just loved. I love her.
Frank in Jersey, welcome to the wrap-up show. Frank, you there? All right, Frank sounds like Robin this morning. Gary, what happened with Robin and the ISDN, and how would you explain Scott's explanation of the problem?
Scott Salem.
Yes, Scott Salem.
What happened? What happened was the box that we used to transmit to got fried, which can happen. There were a couple of mistakes made along the line, but I think today was a prime example of, and I think Jim McClure got to see it firsthand, of how Scott has one gear. That's it. The place is fucking burning down. He moves at the same rate.
Can I? One of the best things ever was, when we worked at K-Rock, Scott, the engineer's studio, was as far from our on-air studio as could be. And one of the things that Gary changed when we came here was that he made sure Scott had the closest office to the studio because Scott walks so slowly.
But you've seen it. You've seen it, right?
Oh my God! It's infuriating, man. It is like a shuffle. It's like he's slow. My wife accuses me of somehow slowing down when I walk across the street. She's like, "It's like you want to be hit." That's what Scott does on the way to the studio. It's like a slow shuffle.
The story where Evan was trying to fix something. He goes,
Easy,
whoa,
The show is about to start, and Evan's running around like a maniac trying to get it fixed. And Scott goes, "Slow down, Evan. Easy, Evan. Easy."
But anyway, so Rob was on the phone for the first 2 hours, and I have to say, considering what happened, we, our staff recovered pretty nicely. I mean, we got her on pretty quickly because she wasn't around the corner.
Did you expect Howard to freak out a lot more than he did?
I expected Howard to really freak out, and I didn't. I couldn't really blame him. But you know what? He sort of put it out of his head. He moved ahead with the show. Rob was on the phone. It wasn't that bad, and we got it rectified. Actually, I gave Howard an ETA of 8 o'clock. I think we got it fixed by 7:40.
Keegan, did you stay away from Scott's studio there and avoid the black cloud?
One of the coolest things about coming up here is seeing how close everybody is together. Because when I'm listening and you're hearing stuff going on, it's amazing how everyone's in a room together. Scott's here, Sal's there. I got to meet Scott. He didn't stand up. He just gave me a wave from a distance.
Did you go in his room though?
I'm not going in there before the Barclays next week.
And do you think Scott is competent at what he does and everyone breaks his balls, or do you think that he's just not very good at what he does and he has no sense of putting you on the spot, but he has no sort of sense of urgency like the guys are saying?
Well, I mean, growing up over the years, hearing the way he does stuff, I don't know. But for me, I love when Howard gets on Scott. I love when Howard gets pissed at people. I think it's the most fun part of the show.
Somebody told me a story once, and again, it talks about how Baba Booey gets to golf, how phrases from the show get out there. Somebody said they were at a show at the Beacon. I mean, it's Allman Brothers or something. And somebody went to play the guitar and it wasn't plugged in or something. And somebody just yelled, "Scott!"
But what would you do? What would you do if you showed you at the Barclays, right? And you turn to your caddy and you say, "Give me the 9-iron." He goes, "Oh fuck, I forgot to check the bag this morning."
Yeah, he'd be on the street,
right? There wouldn't even be
there.
Yeah, exactly. Scott, you're a lucky guy.
Well, get down here. Let's arrange our big match we're gonna have.
I sent the note out last night to tell the three people I thought who needed to know that Keegan was coming, which was John, you, and Will. And Will sent the note back, was very excited. And now he's
Will sent me
he's too cool. He's trying to be.
No, he's working.
Will was the first guy from the show to reach out to me, and that was really cool. And then the night before Duffner was on, he sent me a message. He's like, "Do you know any cool stories about Duffner?" I'm like, "Oh shit, is Duffner going to be on the show tomorrow?" So I texted Duffner. I'm like, "You going on the Howard Stern show tomorrow?" He goes, "Yep." I was just devastated. So I just remembered I never responded to it because I got so flustered.
We all know that you didn't respond to him, by the way, because Will told us that you didn't respond. He's like, "Oh man, did I screw things up with Keith?" No. It's like that Seinfeld with Keith Hernandez. He's helping you move. He's driving to the airport. They're kind of getting there with the relationship.
So do you have any good stories about him?
Well, me and Duff. I didn't know him at all, and then we were in the playoff to PGA together, and I ended up beating him, and that actually we became good buddies after that. And he's a really good dude, and I'm so happy for him to be on the show and to win the tournament. But I was a little bit jealous of him being on the show. But he claims to be a big fan. I don't know. I don't want to think that he is, but maybe he is.
Are you the guy that started with a Duffnering?
Yeah, I did. He posted a picture of him at some school looking like Duffner, sitting there like a sloth. And I said for people to send in pictures of him doing a Duffner, and I called it Duffnering, and then it went global. It started trending everywhere.
Well, Keegan said he felt bad. He didn't hit you back up when you hit him up when Duffner came in.
Well, it's a funny thing because, I wrote him, and then I'm like, oh, shit, maybe he doesn't know that he's coming on the show, and, Duffner wanted to keep it a secret. Keegan just tunes in one day, and there he is. But it's all good.
Yeah, I was devastated. I got too flustered. I forgot to text him back. I actually I set my alarm in the morning to listen to the show, and I turn on my Sirius radio in my house, and it says Howard Stern Show with PGA champ Jason Duffner.
Well, I was telling Keegan, like, it really was sort of like the perfect storm of everything because all the Baba Booies were happening. I was like, if Keegan would have won the tournament, he'd have been in. Anybody who won the tournament would have been our guest because it was just this interesting time of for golf for the show.
But Gary can tell I was pushing hard for you to come in.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I get it.
What how many golfers have we had on the show? John Daly, and we didn't have Daly on because he was a golfer. We had him on because he's crazy.
He was great because the first thing he got to the green room and he goes, "You got any beer?" And we had a beer, so we got him on.
I think he's one of the only people who ever smoked in the studio.
Yeah. He was one of the first serious guests, wasn't he? Wasn't it?
He was
early
serious.
On?
He was
on pretty
early on.
And I remember him saying, like, if you were allowed to drink on tour, he would be the best golfer, bar none, of anyone, because he's just nasty, I guess, when he starts drinking.
Yeah.
Have you played with him?
I haven't played with him, but I know him. He's a super good guy. Nobody's got a bad thing to say about him. But he's had a tough career. But people love him. He gets a ton of sponsor exemption. He still plays a lot.
Chris in Connecticut, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's up, guys? Keegan, I'm a huge fan, dude. I love watching you play on Sundays, especially.
Oh, thanks, dude.
But I want to ask you, you ever crank one out to the show, either on the radio or on Howard TV?
Oh man,
back in your car.
Hey, listen, I'm a big fan. I don't know if I've ever done that, but I'm a big fan.
All right, thanks for checking in.
He doesn't need
Chris.
to if you've seen his girlfriend, by the way.
Did you see someone on the tour just got engaged to Paulina Gretzky? Did you know that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson, right?
Yeah, Dustin's one of my good friends. So is Paulina. They've been together for a while. I was shocked that they got engaged, but he said he was going to wait till I did, but that didn't work out. It was about a week ago. So, But I'm happy.
Does that crank up the pressure with you now because he did it?
A little bit, but I'm not quite ready for that. But they're good. They're good together. They're going to be fine.
Will she slow down on all those pictures? She takes pictures like lingerie pictures all the time.
Yeah, she does.
Her dad could slow her down. But
He's tried.
It's funny because when Duffner won, I was watching the end of that tournament, and I saw his wife standing next to a bunch of the old dudes, and I go, "Oh, look at one of those old dudes got this hot trophy wife." And then when I saw Duffner, I was like, "Damn, that's you gotta become a golf player to get some good looking chicks." She was cute.
Yeah, there's always something about a guy that can, like Duffner, who's not, you wouldn't call him very attractive, I guess. I don't know. But there's always something about a guy who's got a super hot wife or girlfriend that you're looking at, like, what's going on here?
Exactly.
He's got something that you don't know about.
Well, it's funny because he's got a little bit of a paunch, and he's got that lax bro haircut, with the wings on the side.
Yeah, she's a super cool chick too. She's awesome.
I think she was scared to come up here because I saw she was doing all the other media tours with him, but she didn't make it up here.
I was shocked to see because I thought for sure she'd come in to see Howard. If he could call her in, but I saw she didn't come up. That was definitely planned. I guarantee.
Now, would you prep him at all? Would you tell him what to say, what not to say, or can Duffner did he handle himself well, or did he need a little bit of coaching there?
He handled himself well. Duff is an interesting guy because if he was his total self, he'd be so good on the show, and I think he was to an extent. But I was hoping that Howard, it would be like a 5-minute interview with Howard, kick him out. But he did a great job.
He had a lot of the PGA guys up with him, and I think that they were sort of giving him a little bit like, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. But they were thrilled. They were so happy.
Was there any fallout from Duffner calling out Sabatini like that?
Well, that was a little shocking, but that's why he was so good on the show, was he was so honest about everything. Yeah. So yeah,
we were guessing like everybody's got to hate, like to actually name a name, like there's got to be consensus there that Sabatini's just not a guy that you like on the tour. Like,
right, and it's golf so different where you don't have a team and you're playing against one specific team. You're playing against the whole field. So it's tough. Like guys that are super competitive, like Rory is, he might not want to be that friendly to guys on tour because we might go up against them on Sunday. But, there's a few guys out there that are a little different.
Is golf a sport where you need to hate your opponent to win?
Well, it's a little different, but on if I'm going up against Jason, who's one of my good friends on Sunday, I'm going to want to kick his ass. So it's different. It's circumstantial because in a few weeks we're going to be playing on the President's Cup team, which is a team event USA, and then we're partners. So it's definitely a different dynamic than basketball or baseball.
But if you guys are in the finals together, and so you're playing in the same foursome, do you guys is like chatting off the table now? It's like you go do your thing and I do my thing. I don't want to deal with you right now.
On Sunday, if you're going to win the tournament, probably not a lot of chat. I don't like to do a lot of chatting.
Yeah, see, that's weird because whenever I play with Will, like if a hole goes by, we don't talk to each other. It would be odd. I'd be like, what the fuck?
But you're not playing for millions of dollars.
Stakes I know, but I still would be like, hey, man, if you fuck that shot up or whatever.
Yeah. These guys put $10 a hole. The pace puts down a cigar so they can pot.
Hey, Howard sounded disappointed in you that you decided not to go to the University of Texas at Austin today when they were talking about Suffolk Community South.
Well, it wasn't that he was disappointed. He was trying to imply that I was too stupid to get into anywhere else. I applied to a bunch of different colleges, and UT I got into. and I wanted to go there, but I didn't have the money, and I was going to go live with my brother and my sister-in-law, and then they moved back up to New York, and I was too afraid to go to Texas by myself. Plus, living in the dorm, I wouldn't have been able to afford that.
And Sal does think funner is a word. You know that.
Well, he looked it up on Google. Which is the be-all, end-all.
Yeah, that's all you have to say about Sal. Craig in Ohio, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, happy 8/19. Anyways, I was at the Akron tournament, and I saw Keegan there, and I gave him the Fire Benji, and he's really good at, like, kind of giving you a little sly look, like, I'm on to you, I know I heard you, but he won't do it, like, he won't announce it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost like you're in, like, this fraternity or club, and, like, that's the password. So, like, when somebody yells out, Baba Boo, you kind of... You look at each other and give you like a little nod, like, yeah, I get it. Like, they know what's going on. And the cool ones are the really obscure ones, like the Comic-Con and all that crazy stuff. Like, I get some of the weirdest ones, and it's funny because nobody has a clue what the hell they're even talking about.
Has anyone ever yelled out Video Caddy?
I don't think they have. Now they will.
Yeah, exactly. When you're listening to the show, you want more Fred? You want to hear him talk, or you think it's the right amount right now?
I love Fred. I want more Fred. He's the only guy I got to see as I was walking out of here, and but I love him. These guys, like I said, I feel like I've grown up with this whole show and everything that goes on in the show. So just seeing Fred is just so cool.
And what about Robin? Like, how would you describe the chemistry that Howard and Robin have?
I mean, it's really cool to hear Howard talk about how important Robin is to the show, because you think that Howard would be, I could just do this by myself and blah, blah, blah. But he's so adamant about Robin and Fred and all you guys that it shows why the show is so successful, because he doesn't think that it's just him, which is really cool.
Did you get to meet JD?
I got to meet JD. I got to meet everybody. It was so cool. I just seeing, the back office that you hear about so much on the show and all the craziness that goes on back there. It was awesome.
Hey, did JD give the cold shoulder, or was he?
Well, so here's the funny thing. So I had just brought them out. JD had his glass door closed, and I just brought Keegan and his buddy to right outside the door, and Howard had asked me something, so I had to run into my office to answer the question. And when I came back, like, JD hadn't budged. I know he can sense there's somebody out there. Did he turn around and look at you before?
Yeah, he big timed me a little bit.
How so?
That's his move.
He was kind of like leaning back in his chair. He was doing his thing, and we were standing out there. But that's how I kind of wanted JD. The big time, he makes it even better.
On Tuesday's wrap-up show, we hit a lot of different things. We talked about John Legend's performance in the studio. We talked about Alexander and the party he's throwing on the Manhattan Bridge. And, of course, we talked about wheelchair athlete Eric the Midget. Lots of topics, lots of fun. Here we go. Let's talk about I was going to say legendary, but it doesn't make sense yet, John Legend. But what a talented, smart guy. And I know him as a musician, and I've heard him play on a lot of stuff, but I don't know a lot of his original stuff. And really good guest, I thought. Hit it off with Howard, but he's had the greatest life in terms of who he meets and how things turn out for him.
I thought Howard hooked into the right thing. He's like had a charmed life. But by the way, he's not a dick. You know what I mean? Some people have a charmed life or a dick. I thought he came across as a really down-to-earth guy. But, good-looking guy, unbelievably smart, unbelievably talented, can sing and play piano, beautiful girlfriend. His parents got divorced, but met the right people, like a really damn charmed life.
Yeah, 19 years old, meeting Lauryn Hill when she was making Miseducation. I mean, the timing seemed to work out really well for him.
I thought there was an interesting moment, by the way, when Howard said, how much did you get paid for being on that record? And he said $500, and Howard's like, oh my God. But, those are session musicians, and nobody knows if that nobody's shelling out, thousands and thousands. You know if that record's going to be a hit. For him, it was a stepping stone. But I know you think back on it like, oh, you're on that record, you must be a millionaire.
He did a couple things when he came in before the interview started. One, he shook everybody's hand that he saw.
Which went a long way with Will, who is Mr. Cynical.
That's right. And then sat down at the piano, the tuned piano. We'll talk about that in a second. Play something for 15 seconds, and you're just like, wow, this guy, I mean, he's the real deal. But what a talented guy. In terms of the piano, Howard talked about it getting tuned up this morning. Was that okay? Did that work? Did that all work out for the best?
So much angst this week. I thought this was going to be a quiet week. Yesterday Robin's ISDN wasn't working, and so I come in this morning, and Scott informs me at like 5:28 that. So when, just so people know, when somebody plays the piano, whether it's Lady Gaga or Billy Joel, the piano has to be brought in, and it needs to be tuned that morning. If you tune it yesterday, it may not stay in tune today because temperature and humidity affects it. You want it to be perfect. So we bring in a piano tuner right before the show, and they're supposed to know that they have to be out by 5:30, and it has always worked out. Today, I don't know if the guy was late or if it was just he needed to work on the piano longer, but Scott tells me at 5:28 he's going to be another 15 minutes. Now, Howard usually comes to the studio at 5:30. That time is very precious, and I'm playing him stuff, so it's hard for me to play Howard stuff.
Let me stop you. 5:28, Scott tells you it's going to be 15 more minutes. Does something go off, and Scott, you can come talk about this if you want to, in Scott's mind saying, Garrett, we're pitching stuff at 5:40. That's not going to work.
No.
Or does he put that on you?
He puts it on me. He puts it on me. So I go to talk to the guy, and the guy goes, oh, no, I need the time. I need the time. So I'm sitting in there, and I'm thinking, how am I going to pitch to Howard while he's going ding, 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 ding on a fucking key like 50 times, which is exactly what he was doing. So then Scott and I got into like an argument. And for me, Scott feels like I'm just yelling at him, but I want Scott to be sympathetic, sorry, any of the above.
And you didn't sense any of that coming from him?
No. It's like, hey, tough shit. What are you going to do? So we got into it today. I go, could you just shut up? Which is a terrible thing to say to somebody. I apologize to Scott afterwards. And, but we finally came to the conclusion that somebody should come in and do these things at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they have to be clear of the studio by 5.
That makes sense. And to defend Scott for a second, he was doing his job. He was trying to get it done, but it wasn't working out timing-wise.
Right. And whoever booked it, which isn't Scott, but again, I can't think of everything. You have to think of like, hey, we got to have this cleared. Let's not cut it so close.
Frank and Comac, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's everything?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Listen, I've been a John Legend fan forever, and every single time I hear him, he sits down at that piano, he plays those big open chords. He's an aficionado beyond. And his version of Dancing in the Dark, I think, is almost as good as Bruce's slow piano version of Thunder Road. That's how great I thought it was.
I get what you're saying, and it's interesting because I think, are we still working on that special, Steve, the cover special?
Yeah, we'll have it soon.
We're working on a special of
It's the staff picks their favorite cover songs.
And one of the things that we talk, even when I remember talking about this when I worked with a guy at the record store who was a big Beatles fan, for me, a note for note cover doesn't do a thing for me because I can hear the original. So if you're going to cover something, you have to take it and make it different, and that's a really hard thing to do because sometimes you make it so different that you've now fucked it up. And so it's hard to take a song that's iconic, make it different enough and make you like it.
And you're tackling a Springsteen song. Right. With you as a Springsteen aficionado, if you're going to do it, you better do it right.
Well, I went out to that Bruce Springsteen Music Cares thing, and that's where I saw John Legend do it. And we have this email list of about 50 people that are all big Bruce fans, and we all meet at different concerts and stuff. It's very strange. And it goes from, presidents of record companies to plumbers. It's just all of us are just crazy Springsteen fans. So when I told them that I booked John Legend and he was doing that song, they could not have been happier, And I liked John's whole rap on I did it, and I was waiting for Bruce to go.
And he heard nothing.
Because I get that. You're like, hey, I'm doing something. I think I'm doing my best. Just say something one way or the other.
Yeah, and let's give Questlove some credit here because he's extremely talented, as you know, and he did this for Fallon, and it ended up he performed at that thing you went to. That list you're talking about, though, is that like the Alexander list? Like you don't know who's on it, but then you can be invited to it?
Well, you don't know who's on it. You don't have to be invited to it. I will tell you somebody that got invited off it.
Who?
Jimmy Fallon.
What happened?
He wanted to get off the list.
Too many messages going back and forth?
Yeah, because what happens is everybody's a representative of the show. So if somebody one of the 50 people, because a lot of people go to a lot of shows, if they happen to be in Rome, then they will start by saying, hey, I'm in Rome, show starts in half an hour, and then they'll send out an email, first song, second song, third song. So I do remember when Jimmy got on the list, it was a period of time where Bruce was playing every night. And even I would go I'd be sitting in my living room and I'd hear ping, 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 and I go, I gotta turn the fucking sound off on this.
So Jimmy bailed. And wow, that is geeky. But I get it. I totally get it.
And I don't blame him, by the way. I was almost ready to get off.
But you stuck with it.
Yeah, no, it's a good group of guys. We actually, this is how funny it is. We met, we were all at the Springsteen thing in LA, and we don't always all get together. In fact, so I don't know some of the guys on the list. So one of the guys that was with me said, he sent out a list. He says, if you're here, meet in the lobby in 10 minutes for a picture. And 25 guys showed up.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing. We took a great picture.
It sounds a little bit like chess club in high school, though.
Well, at least it's Bruce instead of chess.
That's true. Do you remember anything else from that concert?
I do. Mumford & Sons did a great version of I'm on Fire. Natalie Maines and Ben Harper did a killer version of Atlantic City. A lot of people. Neil Young did a very strange version of Born in the USA, like a very funky, metally, fuzzy version. Sting played. There were some country people who got up and did one step up and two steps back. That was great. But then Bruce got up and did 7 or 8 songs.
Wow.
Of his own, or did he do it?
No, of his own.
I'm kidding. Krista in Denver, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hi. I just wanted to call in saying I just think Howard is an amazing interviewer. And, you know, even though there's only 2 shows a week, I think they're amazing. They're quality shows. And it's a testament to him. And it's a testament to all of you guys just keeping us entertained when you guys are there. So.
Well, thank you. I think for me, one of the great things, and I saw it this morning, was when it ends and I go and I push the door open and John Legend takes his earpiece out and everything. And he's got this look of relief, but also he's like, that was good.
Yeah.
He said, like, he looked to Howard. He's like, that was good, man.
Well, the other thing about, of course, we agree with you that Howard is a great interviewer, and you never know what kind of interview you're going to get in terms of what path he's going to take with these people, but he has the opportunity to go as long as he wants to go and explore different, you know, and John Legend, I think he's on Letterman. I don't know if he's just performing tonight or if he's doing a sit down at the couch, but you're never going to get the length of the interview that you get from Howard. So
and the intimacy, because you can't build up intimacy in 6 minutes. It's just really hard to do.
And so the length is part of it, but the other part of it is Howard gets great stuff out of people. They feel very comfortable talking to him. And even when he was talking about Chrissy Teigen and them getting married and was he scared and this and that, I mean, you're going to get an in-depth interview versus just a quick flyover. So thanks for the call, Krista. And, well, that's a pat on our boss's back, I guess.
Yes.
Before we get over to Alexander and take a break, I do want to ask you about the revelation that Eric the Midget is, in fact, a wheelchair athlete. Did you have any idea? This seemed like a surprise to everyone.
I'm a major league pitcher. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Just saying it doesn't make it true.
Oh, you're not buying?
Well, what was his, I mean...
He said he played some baseball. He talked about a couple other things.
Listen, there's 1,000 jokes you just teed up for me that I'm not going to do.
Okay. But there's nothing to say that he can't be that athlete. I mean, everyone's kind of skeptical here, but...
Yeah. Well, but I mean, whatever athletics he's participating in, he's probably playing like a handicapped version of baseball, which is great. But I'd be curious. I see him, for some reason, I see him in this little miniature A's outfit with a little A's hat on.
I'm trying to picture anything that Eric could do. Like, anything.
Should be on the debate team. They could yell at you.
Yeah, the chess team, maybe, and they can all meet for the picture.
But you tell me like Eric was like the guys in, what was that documentary, Murderball?
Murderball?
In their wheelchairs?
You think he's playing 5-on-5?
I have no idea.
Well,
you think he can hold a basketball?
I don't know. Look, I'm taking the man at his word, and he didn't back down from that wrestler at all. He was ready to go, maybe not on his tickets, but he's ready to attend that event and face that wrestler face to face, even if he's going to get kicked in the face by this wrestler, apparently.
Do you think that he bases that on the, like in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons, like you wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you?
Yeah.
Like, do you think he's all tough guy because who's going to tip over his wheelchair?
I think that's part of it, and it's wrestling, which we know has some fake elements to it. But then
he and I aren't wrestling.
No,
and he's like, he threatens me all the time.
No, but I'm thinking more about Belzer, you know, when he found out how real wrestling was. So that could definitely happen. We'll see. And before we move on to Alexander, we should talk about the slightly awkward conversation when Howard asked Fred if he had taken his daughter to AGT yet.
Well, which part of that do you want to discuss? I think it's funny that Fred just isn't able to answer more clearly and more easily, and then Howard pokes him because he knows he can for no other reason, and gets Fred worked up, and Fred doesn't see that Howard's just getting him worked up.
Right. Fred plans to take his daughter next month, I think, to the show.
And Howard's immediately got him on the witness stand with a fucking light in his eyes. And Fred's like, yeah, I'm going to get there. I mean, he should just go, I'm going to get there.
But you figure by now Fred would know how to handle that. You know, he'd know where it's coming from and deal. But I wonder if Howard really cares if, like, Fred, you, Robin, other people do stop by AGT.
Probably on some level. You know, I mean, I went there once, I'm going to be there again, but I don't know. Listen, when I was there, he seemed so fucking busy. I can't imagine that me being there made a big difference to him.
Well, tonight he's fired up about the talent. So he really thinks that this is the show that people should go see because the talent, you never know what the mix is going to be. And Fred will be there with his daughter, not tonight, but sometime in the future, I can tell you. Now let's move on to the hero of Steve Brandano, Alexander. When did he become your hero, Steve?
The minute Howard said that, I guess.
Yeah, what was the basis of that? Did someone feed him that?
No, I guess just because I was doing the pitch notes with him. That's all I can go off of.
19 years old, millionaire, although he didn't admit that, but drives a Maserati, I guess. And he is throwing these parties, and the people are picking it up on social media, but has a factory in China. The kid's done a lot for 19. And like it said in the notes, and Howard said, you know, he could have gone to an Ivy League school and chose not to. And I can't tell if Howard is fascinated, impressed. Like, how does he deal with guests like this?
I just think Howard sort of said, hey, when I was 18 years old or 17 years old, I wasn't that motivated to do anything. I think he's sort of impressed by the fact that the kid's motivated. I found him to be very interesting. I thought he was exactly what I thought he was going to be, which is, a city kid and wealthy. And I don't think he really fully understood that he was booked on a big show. I don't think he appreciated, I don't think he did anything bad, but I don't think he appreciated, I think in 6 or 7 years he'll go, holy shit, I was on the Howard Stern show. To him it was like, of course they have me on because I'm the biggest deal this week.
He was excited about John Legend too.
Well, there was a funny moment during the commercial. He and Howard were taking a picture, and he was very excited about John Legend. He had said to me in advance, can I see John Legend? I said, well, I don't know if he's going to be here in time. And he said something on the air, but when he and Howard were taking a picture, Howard goes, it was good to have you. And he said something like, forget you, man. I can't wait to meet John Legend.
Oh, really?
He's definitely a young kid.
Yes,
that came across.
Exactly. He's a kid.
And knew what he was doing at a very young age when he did that levitation scam.
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old, he's scamming people with reversing the tape, jumping off the steps. But that's when JD said he became, not a fan of his. But beforehand, everyone thought JD was going to be jealous of this kid, but he didn't seem to be.
He is.
You think?
I think JD's trying to tone down his anger, but he's got a lot of it.
I don't think so. I think that, again, with JD, it's always the unwarranted fame, and the fact that this kid made his own money and is actually doing something, he just wasn't put on a reality show. I think that's JD's problem with those things.
Interesting.
Bobby, you're on the wrap-up show. Bobby, you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
First time, long time. Just calling. You want to know something about wheelchair soccer?
Please explain.
Yeah, well, I'd say wheelchair basketball, which is totally different. Wheelchair soccer, picture a bunch of guys in power wheelchairs with like a miniature snowplow in front, and they basically push the ball around the floor.
Okay, that makes sense.
Eric could do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if you're an athlete pushing a joystick, okay, you're an athlete.
Right.
I play wheelchair basketball in a manual chair. That's a wheelchair. That's playing a sport. You know what I mean?
So do you think that it's possible that Eric is a wheelchair athlete, or is that an inappropriate naming for what he does, just based on what you've heard on the show?
I don't want to disrespect anybody else that does wheelchair soccer, because at least they're out there doing something. But you're sitting in a power wheelchair and pushing a button.
Bobby, here's a question. Is he losing a calorie doing that?
No, not a bit. Push up and down a wheelchair, push up and down a basketball court in a push chair for 40, 45 minutes, you're losing some calories.
Right.
But not in a power wheelchair, sorry.
Right. And they're like the sport that probably gets no respect that people think is barely a sport would be bowling. And bowling, you might work up a sweat.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. Henry in California, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, I got a question. Why are you guys picking on handicapped people? I got nephews that's in a wheelchair, and they do just fine with sports. And Gary's over there saying that they can't do sports. Then you got this guy that's saying that's not a sport. So what does he consider a sport?
Well, Henry, we're not picking on handicapped people. Eric is trying to imply that he's an athlete like everyone else, and he's not. He's a handicapped athlete, which isn't the same. So it's more what Eric's implying than what we're saying.
Gary's picking on Eric.
Yeah, if we're picking on anybody, it's specifically Eric, not the wheelchair community.
That's right.
No, basically you're picking on everybody that's handicapped, and that's not right. Gary should never have said that that's not an athlete. I got nephews that can barely walk and barely move their hands, and they still, do sports. They might not be like him, but they're still just as good. I don't feel
how are they just as good? I think Henry's busting my balls, but Henry, I'm not picking on your nephews. I'm giving Eric. Henry, I'm giving Eric some shit.
I don't. You can give Eric all the shit you want. You said it to all handicapped people. That's basically what you said.
Well, actually, the last guy that was on who is handicapped is the one who said it.
Gary, would you like to clarify your statement before we wrap up here?
No.
Okay.
I think people who heard the show understand what I'm talking about.
Henry, thank you for calling in and stating your case. We're going to wrap up this wrap-up show.
David Arquette's on the phone. David, I saw a picture of you in the paper this morning. What the hell were you wearing?
Where was I?
You're in the Daily News.
Oh, no.
You're with some hot chick, but I don't think it's your girlfriend.
It should be my girlfriend.
Oh, maybe it is your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you're walking out of a club and you're wearing like
I had a tuxedo on.
Yeah, but like
Is that my
paisley, a paisley pants and it's kind
I don't know.
What kind of crazy? How you doing, man? I haven't heard from you in ages.
I'm doing great. How are you? I lost my voice, though. I was singing.
I was going to say, what's wrong with you?
Hey, what's going on? You sober or not?
I'm not sober, no.
What happened?
I'm sober at this moment.
No, but I mean, what happened? You're back to drinking?
Yeah, I'm drinking again.
Is that a bad thing, or did you figure it out?
Well, I don't know if I've figured it out. I actually have figured it out, yes.
I always told you could have a few drinks.
Yeah, well, that's the game. I mean, you have to keep the little, the little demons.
David, what are you doing though? Are you able to like have one or two drinks, or are you back to like drinking like a whole bottle of stuff?
No, I'm a drinker, so yeah, I drink a lot.
Oh dear.
When did you get off the? Because you were doing pretty good.
Yeah, I know. See, my problem with being honest with you and talking to you is that people are going to take all this and just be cruel with it.
Yeah,
sort of like what's happening with our society. Everybody's being so cruel and mean to each other that it's just sort of this never-ending cycle. And I'm kind of on a different kick now. I sort of had this really deep and philosophical moment where I figured out what this whole game is. The whole game of life. I got it.
Go ahead. Let me hear.
It's called the kindness game.
Yeah, tell me because I haven't figured it out.
Well, it's called the kindness game.
Go ahead.
And kindness is the new currency. Love is the new currency.
Go ahead.
People are so cruel to each other throughout the world.
True.
Everyone is always like trying to get over on someone else. And it's really about being kinder and more understanding and thoughtful and generous. Because on one side you have violence. On one side you have, sexual deviance, not like beautiful, like fun, crazy sex between two people that agree upon it. You have the other kind that is forceful and taking advantage of people.
You're not drunk, you're high.
Violence and
you're high.
Hurting others. On the other side, you have love. What?
I said you're not drunk, you're high.
No, I'm not.
I was going to say, this isn't helping his case.
What?
You smoking any weed or are you just drinking?
I'll smoke a little weed. I mean, I don't really want to
Oh my goodness!
all that because the problem is people are going to take this and start talking about it.
No, what I admire
about me and talking about each other.
Can I tell you something,
David?
David?
The problem that's going on is everybody's talking about everybody else.
There's a lot of gossip. You're right, but you know what? I'll tell you this. I admire your honesty because so many people who go to rehab, they get sober, and then they lie when they are drinking. They're in full blown fucking denial.
Right.
You're like, no, I'm drinking.
Well, there are no secrets in the world at all. You know what I mean? Ultimately, everyone knows everything. So you have to.
Yeah, I knew he was
life.
drinking, and we hadn't even talked to him.
Are you concerned, David, that you're drinking, or are you like, hey, I think I got this under control?
When I had this sort of this new understanding of like the kindness game and what's going on out there.
Go ahead.
I was walking. I was drunk, but I wasn't that drunk. But I was walking back from a club in Las Vegas with my girlfriend.
Right.
And there was a guy walking in front of me who was drunker than I'd ever seen anybody drunk. And my phone was out of juice. I actually wanted to film him because it was so funny and just to like remind me never get this way.
Yeah.
But it was actually like, oh wow, and I just was watching him. I was watching him walk. And then I went to an elevator. We got on the elevator, and there's this guy there. And I was like, hey, how's your night today? He said, it sucks. I just lost $15,000. He was so bummed. And it was just sort of like something out there showing me, like, don't fall into those kind of traps.
When did you decide to start drinking again? Like what was your decision process like? You were sober, and then all of a sudden you said, fuck this. I'm going back to drinking.
It was, I'd been sober for 2 years and 4 months. And I don't know. I just felt like it. I felt like I just needed to, I was feeling like I wasn't being that true to myself.
Right.
Like what I enjoy and this and that. And I understand like the other sides. One thing is I never drive whenever I drink.
Yeah, but were you supposed to call someone when you feel like drinking, or you just said, screw this, I'm not calling anybody?
No, I had been calling them. I had been talking to, people involved in, different programs, my therapist.
And did you say to them, look, I'm starting...
Definitely, like, they're very clear about, you shouldn't do this, it's bad for you and this and that. And I get it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, I am a wild man, so I do get out of control and, like, but I try to keep a cap on it. And
what about your girlfriend? What is she thinking?
My girlfriend's the coolest.
She's what?
She's the coolest. She's a sweetheart. She supports me.
She does?
Yeah.
Will she drink with you, or does she try to say, hey, no more drinking?
No, she's cool,
Right.
I'm trying to, like, not get in all that because it just feeds this beast of, like, people talking about each other.
Right.
And it's like whoever's sitting out there right now and you're taking notes and you're, like, getting the transcript of this, and then you're going on and you're writing, and you're, like, talking about another person, and you're, like, trying to bring people down. It's just this disease that's infecting our whole country.
But do you think
if you look out on the internet,
right,
and you see how mean and cruel people are, that's not who we are.
Everyone is mean. Everyone is mean.
Like, how we're, like, behaving, but it's not who we are. We're much cooler than that. We're much kinder than that. We need to get back to a place where we're supporting each other and embracing each other and celebrating each other and loving each other.
It does seem like everyone is mean on the internet. It's true. I mean,
I'm telling you, and Howard, I really want your help on this. We need to change the dialogue. It has to, like, it's time for a new wave of love. It's a new love revolution. It's got to happen. Happened in the 60s, and it's just time. We're too cool of a spirit of humanity that we go around and do this. Because at my main time, I might do whatever I do in my own journey, and I'm trying to figure out my process.
Yeah, but what did someone say about you that was so mean? Something obviously has really irked you about meanness. Like, did someone say something about you drinking, or something about you personally? Like, what is really making you nuts?
Yeah, well, there was an article online from a certain online sort of gutter media thing that broke the story that I was drinking again. Okay, so they were the first one to actually report it. That part they got true. What they got wrong was what rehab I went to, they got wrong. What day I was drinking, they got wrong. They said I was drinking on Saturday, and the story they were explaining started on a Thursday. Okay, this is how it goes. I was in a...
Yeah, but does it matter really what day you started drinking? I mean...
It does, because when they said I was, like, in Richmond, Virginia doing this thing at a strip club, I was actually at my friend's wedding in Santa Barbara, where I set these two people up. Two good friends of mine. I set them up. They fell in love. And it was like, that is one of the greatest nights of my life, because I actually, like, helped these two fall in love. And, like, that is magic.
So you're upset more that they got the day wrong than the actual story wrong?
Well, I'm just upset that, no, I'm not really upset. I mean, I'm sad that as a culture, we're so obsessed at being cruel and mean to each other. And we're not, like, because that's the game.
Is Courtney speaking to you about your drinking, or are you upset because Courtney and you were broken up? Maybe that's what.
Courtney's super cool too, man,
Right.
and everybody's getting along and understanding, and, like, now we're like practicing what I'm talking about. We're, like, being kind and loving to each other rather than everyone is.
Right.
She's cool to my new girl, and my new girl is cool as my ex, and everybody's getting along.
Right. Well, hey, listen, man. I know what you mean. It can get to you.
No.
But at the same point, I got to tell you though, David. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you only because, I know you got a problem with alcohol.
Those things tend to get out of control.
Yeah, as long as you, I mean, I know some guys who
whatever I do, I'm going to do. I'm going to go through this journey and figure out my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a responsible person. I have my daughter 3 days a week. I'm incredibly responsible.
Right.
I'm living my life, but the thing is, I'm really trying not to hurt people and be cruel and talk mean about people. And it really has to change. It's this, silly game where we're all caught up, and the only thing is, like, us getting up, like, whoever, me pushing my own self, and, it's all ego and all this shit, like, our whole world's, like, twisted. And the fact of the matter is, it's all about love. That is the new currency. And the kinder you're going to be, the more sort of you bring your friends into certain projects, you, like, help another, the more you start, like, focusing on the love part and play the kindness game, the more we're going to start shining.
I got nervous because I read, again, I'm reading this.
Yeah.
You were on some movie And now you're not on the movie. They
Okay, this
replaced
is a
you.
perfect story. It's the
Go
same
ahead.
people that have been up my ass, and they're probably going to write a story about this, too.
But good, clear this up with the movie thing. Now, were you fired for partying on a movie or something?
No, I was not fired from partying at all.
Go ahead.
Okay, it was this movie I was doing. We were filming in Covina. I had shot 3 days on it, and I went to the set, and I'm playing this prick, like, who's trying to sell a house out from under his ex-wife who has ALS.
Right.
A really asshole character. He's
Right.
a yuppie and all this shit. So I'm playing this character, and, you know, I didn't really get any response from the director that he wasn't, liking my performance or this or that. But I'm doing this scene, and it's feeling kind of awkward, and the lines aren't coming easily, and it's a little weird scene. And I turn, and I'm having the scene with Anthony Michael Hall.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of Anthony Michael Hall. He's a great man, a great actor.
Good actor, yeah.
Yeah, and we're having the scene together. And as I'm saying my lines to him, I'm thinking in my head, oh, this guy would be better for the part than I am. And so we finish the scene. Everything's great. I go home. And when I get home, the director calls me, and he says, David, I don't think it's working out. I'm not feeling the character. And I said, well, Carl, it's kind of out of left field. You didn't tell me on the set that you weren't, happy with what I was doing.
Right.
And I said, listen, even I was sitting there today, and I was looking at Anthony, and I said, Anthony, Michael would be better for this role than I am.
That
and
was
he said,
generous.
Yeah.
Wow. So you weren't upset
Essentially,
about it.
I got dumped on the set.
So you were all for the change. You felt like you couldn't handle the part, and that wasn't something you wanted to do.
Well, I could handle the part. It just would have been a different direction,
I see.
to cut it all together. But the director wasn't happy with it, and he has his own vision for it, so I get it.
Right. You wanted to play it a different way than he did.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But it's sad because
So creative differences.
A really sweet guy, but he might not have known he was talking to journalists or this or that. He
Right.
told a story about me getting fired, and I feel bad for him because he kind of got caught up in the web of this thing. And
So you mean you don't blame the director for talking to them? You blame the guy who wrote the article? Because it sounds like the director should have shut his mouth about it.
No, the director actually spoke to them. We spoke to this online company even before they printed the story and set them straight.
Right.
But they still went ahead and printed a story about hard partying, David Arquette, and this and that.
Yeah, because David's a real honest guy. He'll tell you what happens. I mean, he really will. I mean, he's not someone who hides from the press.
But not all the time do people know what is happening, Howard.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, no.
So what happened? You went. So how'd you lose your voice? You went out last night?
No, this was a couple nights ago. I went and I was singing with the band.
With that club you own, that thing you own?
No, it was after my club. I have two clubs now. One called 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄𝗿𝗱 and one called Hooray Henry's. So any night you want to go out in L.A. except Mondays.
See, that's what I think did you in with the drinking. I think you were in the business of partying in clubs. I mean, he's got these great wild clubs where you go and there's a whole experience. David's got Bootsy's is like this crazy kind of, they got all kinds of weird shit going down while you're in the club.
Yeah.
How can you stay away from drinking if you're in a club all the time and everyone's drinking?
Well, I did it for,
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. I did. And
That had to be-
not the point.
You can do it. You can, it's hard. But,
You
part
can
of
do it
that
for a
thing
little while, apparently.
Right.
What?
Well, 2 years is a miracle. To do 2 years and be in that business is
But,
almost impossible.
everybody's, I did it for 2 years. No, but you didn't continue to do it. So after 2 years, you couldn't do it.
It's too fucking hard.
Yeah, that's how hard it was.
it is hard. I mean, that whole place and that whole lifestyle is about celebration.
Yeah.
And it's about hospitality. And you show people a great time. You run around and playing with puppets and we're dancing around. And,
So how much did you have to drink that
It's
night?
hard to do that without drinking.
How much did you drink that night?
You don't have to do that without.
Well, how many drinks would you say you had that night?
What?
The night you lost your voice, how many drinks did you have?
The night I lost my voice, I don't know. I probably had about 4 or 5 drinks.
What, like vodkas?
Yeah. Yeah, vodka.
So if
and
you
I get strong drinks, and
Right.
But I wasn't stumbling around,
Right.
I had a driver. I was, I wasn't like a knucklehead.
When you look at like a Lindsay Lohan, do you think she should stop drinking?
I think everyone's on their own journey, and I'm sick of people
Making
judging
judgments.
others.
Right.
I think the only way to deal with anybody is to, have love and support. Whatever their journey is.
I support you.
I know you do.
I
love
do.
you, buddy.
I love you too. I just want to make sure you're okay here because that
No, trust me. I'm
Well,
a wild
Howard,
man, but-
come on.
What?
It's not okay.
It's not okay. Okay, Mom. I'm sorry.
No, it's not like I want to be your mom, and I understand you're on your journey, and this is part of the process.
So do you think
But it's
gonna
not
help
okay.
when people talking about where I am or what? Do you think that's all so people can look at me and either compare themselves to me or think they're better
Well,
than
you
me.
are famous, so people are going to do that. I mean, that's the world we live in.
Yeah, I get it.
Listen, that's part of the deal.
Unfortunately, you wound up a role model.
You're a role model.
Okay, well, if I'm a role model, follow me on this. It's the kindness game. We all need to be more loving and kind to each other. And I would love to put together a concert with some of the greatest music in the world and have everybody come together.
I hear Zeppelin reunion.
Whoever, I love Zeppelin. But for one, I would love to have a love concert.
You get married again?
In Detroit. In Detroit, we got to save Detroit.
Are you going to get married again? Are you getting married again?
The first city in America that's gone bankrupt.
Are you getting married again?
People that are incredible, that have produced some of the most amazing music our world has ever seen.
David, you getting married again or not?
We have no plans to.
All right.
But I love my girlfriend with all my heart. She's such a sweetheart. She's so supportive and understanding.
I always want to ask this question. So after you don't have a drink for 2 years and 4 months,
yeah,
all right, when you have that first drink, what's your go-to drink, and is it everything you imagine it to be?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I'm afraid to be honest with you and with the world because people are so cruel at this time.
Right.
It's really hard.
But what can they do with honesty, David?
But yeah, it was. Drinking feels good.
Yeah.
When you drink too much, it feels bad. It's a pretty simple equation.
Right.
Well, how
and
much
if you
are
drink
you
too much,
drinking
it'll screw your
every
life
day?
up. I mean, I know all this.
Are you drinking every day?
No, I didn't drink yesterday.
He said he's got the kid 3 days a week. You're not drinking during that.
No.
And so.
Well, just.
What?
Ever. I mean, I have my club on Tuesdays. I have a few drinks.
Right.
But sometimes I go to my club and I don't drink, even since I've been drinking.
I'm afraid Robin's going to go back to eating rice again if she hears this interview. Give Robin any chance of that? Because she's off rice completely.
I have not. It's been a while since I've had
How many
rice.
years?
It's not years. It's
Right.
just months.
Just months. So you could go back on rice. She's not eating any rice.
Looking at David, I can only say it's one day at a time, right?
That's right. You better believe it. Where you at? You in L.A.?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in ages.
I know, man. I'd love to see you. I saw you briefly at that party.
Yeah, I didn't even talk to you hardly.
I know.
I know. You never get to talk to anybody at that party.
No, I know. Well, whoever talks to me, I talk back to. It's crazy.
I know. Everyone doesn't want to bother you.
What happened? Your girlfriend moved out to L.A., so she's with you now, right?
Yeah, we live together. We moved in together.
Oh, so you're not in New York that much?
Not in New York at all, really.
What time is it in L.A.? 6 a.m.? Have you been up all night?
No. I woke up because my girl has to get up at 5 o'clock. We went to bed at 9:30.
What's she doing? She got work?
Yeah, she's got work.
Man, she's super hot. I saw a picture of her coming out of the club with you, and
she's the most beautiful little sweet girl in the world.
I bet she's very, very good in the sack.
She's so fun. She's such a sweetie.
Really? She's up for it all?
You
ever tie her up?
Wonderful, fun life.
You ever tie her up?
No, she doesn't like that.
No, well, no one likes it. You just do it.
You ask?
You don't ask. Have you ever burnt her with lit cigarettes?
No.
No?
I'm not into hurting another.
Oh, that's right. You're into the kindness thing. I forgot about
The
that.
kindness game.
I thought you were into burning people with cigarettes.
We have to have the love concert.
Right.
I shut down all my social media. I shut down Twitter. I shut down my Facebook.
Right.
Because people were too cruel.
Oh, did you? You shut down Twitter and Facebook, huh?
Yeah, people are being too mean out there, man.
Oh,
It's
my
over.
God. Yeah, I
It's
tell
over.
you. Even my so-called fans are mean. Well, you know what? I got to say, a lot of people really are nice, actually.
Yeah, there are. There are a lot of nice people, and I miss them. I want to communicate with them.
Yeah. You want to talk to people on the phone or no?
Sure.
Well, let's see what everyone's saying. I'm sure let's see if there's any nice people on the phone.
Let's see.
All right. Richard, are you nice?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey,
What up?
I just want to make a comment, if I may, because I think David really is full of shit in many respects, and I just want to express why.
Why is he full of shit?
Many respects? What?
Wow. What do you mean many
because
respects? He hasn't said that much.
He's talking about how we all need to love each other and be kind to each other,
right?
And how everyone is so cruel to each other,
right?
And
you're
I just
doing
want
a
to ask
great
him.
job of that.
I just want to ask him how he thinks his alcoholism is going to affect his daughter, and how he feels this is being kind to her, and how this is going to affect her when.
All
she
right,
grows
fair
up.
enough. Let him answer that. You know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Let me
let him talk.
Let him answer.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Is he mean, David?
Yeah, I mean, there's a cruelness to like the way he's talking to me,
right?
And laying it all out. But I hear his point, and you know, that is part of like my responsibility of what I have to, how I have to like try to, you know, keep it like under control.
That's
you know,
right.
but you know, I'm on my own journey, and so is my daughter. As much as I'm having to be, you know, her parent, you know, we all.
Go
we
ahead,
all
Max.
are learning.
Max, you're on the air with David Arquette in the Bronx.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Dave, man? I got to say, I completely agree with you, man. The whole world is just crazy with social media today. It's just like a bunch of nameless, faceless people out there that can be so cruel, but if you were ever to meet them in real life, they would never say any of this stuff to you.
That's a good point. Sometimes if you go knock on these fuckers' doors, I read his story. It's unbelievable. David will like this. Was I think the guy was a professional wrestler or something, and some guy was
boxer.
A boxer, yes, it was a boxer. Robin's right. And the guy was on Twitter, and some dude was calling him out and saying all kinds of shit about his wife and his kid. Fucking boxer got hired a private eye, tracks down where the guy lives, walks over, knocks on his door, and goes, "Okay, dude. Here I am. Now say this shit to my face." The fucker starts crying at the door, won't say a word, and then made a public apology and said that it was all wrong what he said. David, maybe a lot of the meanness has to do with the fact that people have anonymity when they say it. They hide behind pseudonyms.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say one more thing before I hang up. Dave, I love you, man. You don't sound too good. I feel bad. I hope that you get the help that you need or whatever it is, but I just want to say, man, I'm a big fan.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
All right, Max. Oh, there's some nice.
You know, my voice really is. I was screaming with a band, so that's why my voice is shot.
You blew out your pipes, bro.
What?
You blew out your pipes.
I blew out my pipes.
Yeah. Hey, David, listen, I'm glad you called in because it's been way too long. I haven't spoken to you in so long. And David emailed me over the weekend.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did. And yeah, one of these days we'll get together. If I ever go out to L.A. again, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love to see you. I miss you. I love you.
I miss you, too.
You know, I hear people, I take it all in, but I am a really kind person when I do meet people in person.
Right.
And I really do want to start a new dialogue about love. It's what Bob Marley was talking about. It's what John Lennon was talking about. It's what we all need to be talking about because we're all on the same playing field. We're all equal, no matter what our problems are.
Who's more about love than me?
No matter wrong, no matter if we're the shittiest person in the world or the sweetest person in the world, we're all equal. And this whole looking up and looking down at people, it's over. You know, it's not honoring us. We're all little pieces of like something bigger. And what's bigger is it's the game, the kindness game. Whatever's up there wants us to be kind. It wants us to, cultivate love. And that's how we're going to succeed in this, journey. And then, you know what? Once we start doing that, our art's going to get better. Our music's going to get better. We're all going to start, seeing and talking and being more honest with each other. And, I got my own problems, yes, and I will, sort them out. I go to a therapist. I really am working on myself. I'm trying to discover, what it is. This was a big part of it, me figuring out, this kindness game. And I'm serious. I want to start this crazy game. I want to do a crazy concert that all is about love, and it's for the people. You raise the money for the people, and I want you to help. All right, Howard? I know.
Me? Help with kindness? Who's kinder than me?
Whichever way you can.
All right.
I know. Well, what you are is, you're amazing. I mean, you really did. You were honest. That's your greatest quality. That you're honest, and you bring out this incredible honesty. There's an intense cruelty, too, with some of the joking. I mean, you know what? I forgot his name. Eric the actor.
Eric the actor, yes.
Yes, Eric the actor just gets dumped on all the time, and he's so enraged about people being
Talk about cruelty, yeah.
Yes, very cruel. All right, David, listen.
Yes.
I love you. I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna call you.
I love you, buddy.
I'm gonna check up on you.
Thank you.
All right, and
Love
whatever
you,
path
Robin.
you take, man, I hope.
Fred, Benji, love you guys.
All right.
We all love you, too,
We
David.
love you too, David.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Play
later.
the kindness game. Spread it.
No. All right.
Yes.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Bye. That's David Arquette. I'm making the big announcement. He's back to drinking.
Oh.
But I hope he's okay. That's all. You know, listen, I got a couple of friends who have all been sober and then went back to drinking.
And
some of them are doing just fine. You know, they have it under control, and some aren't.
That's the question. It's which group is David in?
Yeah, well, he knows the answer to that.
So, Gary, the show has been friends with countless celebrities over the years, and this phone call with David Arquette is a perfect example of getting this sort of insider access to their life. Having said that, can you kind of gauge where he's at, in your opinion, based on what you know about celebrities and problems and alcoholism?
Listen, I'm an outsider. I don't know his life. I love David. I think David's a great guy. I think that once you've gone to rehab to stop drinking, you have to not drink anymore. And I know he's on a journey, and I feel like there's a lot of rationalization going on there. But at the end of the day, he probably needs to not do this, and he's got to figure out the way that that's going to happen.
Because he's been on the show a lot, and we've sort of seen him through a lot of ups and downs and stuff like that. Based on that information, I know you're not on the inside, but does he sound like this is Hollywood speak with his kindness is the new currency? Is this? Well,
listen, I get the kindness is a new currency has nothing to do with whether he's drinking or not. Those are two separate issues. And if you spend time going to rehab, you're probably saying to yourself, hey, this isn't something I should be doing because I'm not my best when I'm doing this. So why he's throwing that out the window now, I don't know. But he's got to figure out how to get there. I guess that's his journey.
I can't wait. In the coming weeks, we have Metallica's going to come in and perform live. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. We had a writing meeting the other day, and Richard Christie's sitting there, and he raises his hand and he goes, I would do just about anything to sit on the couch when Metallica is in there playing. I would even make out with John Hine for 10 to 15 seconds. And, I'm sitting there going, what, how does a guy, forget about, how did he come up with John Hine? All right. Not only is it bizarre that he's going to make out with a man to see Metallica play in the studio, but, how do you come up with the name John Hine out of all the guys here?
Well, you should know, so this writing meeting, we do at a big conference room every week, and everyone's around the table. So when he says John Hine, John Hine's eyebrow goes up. Like, who the fuck?
Well, how did I get involved?
No one told me about this.
Yeah, right.
But I thought, you can make out with Will, Sal. How did he come up with John?
I just feel John Hine would be a very funny guy for him to make out.
It would be, but to have a name, it'd be one thing to say, I'll make out with a guy on the staff.
Right.
He specifically said John Hine.
And I don't want to do it.
I by the way, I would watch it. Yeah, right. That's the other. I don't want to do it. But
I don't want to make out.
He always says that, but he suggests these things.
Howard, it's every week when we go into the writing meeting, we laugh to see how many ideas when Richard gets up to pitch will be him doing something gay or naked.
It's 90% gay and naked.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Richard, come here.
By the way, how nice does our hallway and our green room and stuff look?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, why John Hine?
It's just funny stuff with John Hine because he's
but
the most.
But John's not going to make out with you.
You never know until you ask.
Right.
You
just think it would be funnier. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's just funny. If I did it with Mike Morales,
when you say make out, you mean like tongue?
Yeah, like Lisa G and Ronnie did.
But hold on, it would be funny if you did it. Wouldn't it be funny if you did it with JD?
See, doesn't that look funny? I was trying to kiss Gary.
Wouldn't it be funny if you did it with JD?
Kiss him. Kiss him. Kiss Gary.
No.
Go ahead, kiss him.
I'm going to choke you. He's trying to choke me.
But if you did it with JD, that'd be funny. Why not JD?
I could lean in and kiss Gary right now.
But JD won't kiss.
But neither will John. In other words, there's 10
Why don't you make out with High Pitch Mike? He might do it because he's gay.
But it's not as funny.
Oh, it'll be funny.
Well, I'm not up for it. But
what do you mean you're not up for it?
But he's up for John. That's what I'm saying. There's something going on.
Why are you up for John over High Pitch Mike?
I don't know. Something about making out with John Hine is hilarious.
He said in the meeting, by the way, he goes, I don't want to make out with High Pitch Mike. His mouth has been in some weird places.
Oh, John Hine has been in the right place.
Yeah, John Hine hasn't had jizz on his lips and stuff.
Right. Hey, John, is there any chance you'll make out with Richard?
Come on, help a brother out, John.
I will allow you to sit in with Metallica if you make out with John Hine. There's no doubt.
And that's what makes it not a gay stunt because I get to see a manly band like Metallica.
Are you up for this in any way?
Absolutely not.
Were you shocked when he suggested it?
Yeah, I mean, the idea didn't surprise me, but me, I guess, because it's funny that it's me, and I guess I'm safe in Richard's eyes. Don't touch me. But no, and then I was like, what's in it for me?
He must be. Well, that's ridiculous. I know. What's in it for
You're
you?
a team player. That's what's in it.
But you must be attracted to him a little bit.
I mean,
more
he's-
than high-pitched Mike.
I'm not. I know nobody believes me, but I'm not a gay homosexual man. And but John is
You
handsome.
kind of are, though, in the sense that you would make out with a guy. I mean, that's gay.
Yeah, but a lot of guys do that drinking just for fun and
Oh,
goofing
yeah?
around.
No.
You know?
All right. Well, anyway, there it
Where's
is.
his evidence?
I don't know. He makes statements that I've never heard before.
Well, a
Thank you.
lot of my buddies.
All right.
have
Well,
done.
go find a guy to make out with, and if you do, maybe we'll have you in here for Metallica.
Like, well, what about Jason Kaplan?
Jason, will you make out with him? Would you do that? If you do it,
No, I won't make out with you. I'm sorry, dude. Metallica will be here regardless.
You would make out with Jason?
Yeah, why
to,
me?
To sit on the couch to watch Metallica, of
All
course.
right. If you can convince him to do that, I would.
Is it wrong that I'm flattered? Because he just
no.
turned Gary down,
Right.
and I'm in. I actually feel good about myself for a second.
Well, will you do it for 15 seconds with him?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to make out with you.
But it'll be remembered as a great stunt. It's funny.
You'll go down in history.
I'm not looking for that.
He'll be on the front page of HowardStern.com.
Would you make out with Sal?
Yeah, but I don't think Sal will do it either.
Really? I think he would.
He said in the meeting.
Your boyfriend won't make out with you?
He said in the meeting he won't.
Oh.
Rejected.
I think he would, actually.
No, Howard, he said, Sal, come here. He said, no way. Why no way, Sal? It's the gayest stunt ever. That's gay. When you touch his taint. That's not as gay as making out. Making out is too intimate.
Will any guy here make out with?
blowjob?
Will anybody make out? Yeah, like you would. Hey, Sal, you would let him blow you, but you won't make out with him.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So if you blow Sal, you can sit on a couch.
No, I ain't going that far. I like Metallica.
I'm really confused.
Give me a rim job.
I don't even
Would
understand
you
the
taste
limits.
Sal's semen? If Sal brought in semen, would you put your finger in it?
No, I'd put my finger in it, but I'm not going to taste it.
Why not?
Could I put
it on a
cracker?
Would you tongue my asshole, Richard?
No.
Eh.
No.
Will you let him tongue your asshole?
Yeah. I'll let him stick his tongue on my ass.
I like he'll do that, but he won't make out with me.
Will you stick your tongue up his ass, and I'll let you sit in with Metallica?
Oh man, that's brutal.
Will
plus,
you do it?
Plus, you know he's going to take a shit and make it stink.
Well, maybe you could use shittens. It can't be worse than future.
Could I put a condom on my tongue?
No.
No.
Oh, please.
Ah. We want you to get disease.
Richard, 3 quick jabs up my ass.
If I can put a condom on my tongue, I would.
All right, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Just go find the guy. Go find the guy to make out with, and then come back and see.
Well,
me.
there's a lot of guys, like gay guys, that would do
Well,
it, but
then,
I
all right.
just think it's funniest with somebody like John Hine.
Well, you're not going to get John Hine.
You know what'd be really funny? There's a lot of guys down at the Gay Channel do the morning show. They're all like bears. They're like big, hairy guys.
Yeah.
You see them all the time, Richard. Would you make out with one of those guys?
No, because I don't know them. I want to, know the person.
know them.
Yeah.
Well, no straight guy is going to make out with you.
Yeah.
Well, Jason's a big Metallica fan. What if you got to sit on the couch too?
All right, I'm up for that.
And Jason said I know there's a certain song he wants him to play. Like he would flip if they played this song.
You want to make out with him on any condition? Would you?
No, I don't want to make out with him for any condition. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't care what song they play. I don't care if I get to play with them while they're playing. I support your decision, Richard. And I'm a little shocked 'cause I'm usually never brought into these sorts of things. But no, thank you.
You were in the room, so
No, thank
you're
you.
the one I thought of.
Thank you.
One more idea somebody would think White might do. Would you make out with Ronnie?
Oh man, I don't know.
All right, if you make out with Ronnie.
That'd be great.
Would Ronnie?
What's wrong with Ronnie?
How about David Arquette? He might be up for it. He's back to partying again. All right, listen. Well, let's talk about this tomorrow. How's that?
Okay.
It's getting late.
Ronnie's a maybe possibility.
All right.
But that mustache might be.
And what do you mean by make out?
Kind of like him and Lisa did. Tongue, yeah.
Right.
So there's got to be a time limit?
At least 50.
All right. Thank you. Please
Okay,
get me out of this if you don't mind.
I'll make
Please.
out with you, Howard.
No, it's not gonna. Would you make out with Richard so we can do this, Ronnie? Would you make out with Richard? What?
What do I get out of it?
I don't know. You want to
Kissing Richard.
Metallica?
No.
I'm a good
I
kisser.
can walk
You
in
get
here
that?
anytime I want during Metallica.
All right.
Metallica.
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 What am I going to get? What am I going to get out of it?
What am I going to get out of
Metallica.
You get a passionate kiss.
No.
From a friend.
You've
No, I
always
need-
been bi-curious.
I
a
need
little bit.
more. I need more.
I'll jerk you off while I do
I
it.
need more. No.
Oh, so you know what we're learning from this? It's not out of the question.
Yeah, he's just looking for something more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a nice drink.
All right, guys, thank you. He's not
We'll
up for-
think of a prize for
All
Ron.
right, good. Okay. Enough.
But you know what, Howard? For you, Richard would swallow.
For me, what?
If you let him,
Would you blow me and
he
swallow?
would give you a blowjob.
Would you blow me and swallow, honestly? if I let you?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, but I'm also saying that because I know it would never ever happen. But
I'm actually interested for the first time.
But just for the sake,
I would like it.
For the sake of the greatest stunt of all time, I would do that.
You would blow me and swallow.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Keep that in mind.
I'm good. I'm going to go back. I'm going to think about that tonight.
Okay.
All right, throw up. Okay. Thank you. Guy's out of his mind. Wow.
Mr. Hine, stop and talk to me for a second.
Yes.
I promise I won't try to kiss you. Obviously, at this point, nothing Richard says or does can really shock you.
No.
But when it's you specifically, does that kind of like throw you off around? Have you been looking at him differently? Have you been noticing the way he's been observing you?
No, because Richard's always been that way. I think that Richard chose me for two reasons. One, so Howard would say, hey, John Hine, like it would get him interested in the bit. And two, because he knows there's no way in hell I'd ever do it. So I'm a safe choice. If he said Sal or someone who may be willing to high-pitch Mike, then there's consequences there. So it's easy to say I'm going to make out with John when I have absolutely no intention of doing so.
So you're saying he knows that push won't come to tongue or whatever. It's not going to happen.
I'm a safe choice. Now, the thing I should have done is gone in there and said, yeah, sure, let's do it. Because I would have totally thrown him off. But then I realized the consequences of saying something like that.
And you also, yeah, exactly. He has,
and I'm also not a homosexual, so that may have something to do with it.
But even still, you know that Richard, when pushed, will do it. I mean,
oh yeah, Richard, which is why I didn't push and will not push.
The controversy surrounding him for years has been that he's got some gay tendencies. That it's not just about the jokes and the hijinks. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. He definitely is, I think, open with his sexuality. I wouldn't say he's, clearly, he's got a wife and he likes women, but I think that he's one of those guys who's up for anything, and because it's funny or goofy.
At minimum, he's at least bi-curious.
He's bi-curious. That's a better way of putting it, yes.
There's some things that have happened in those storage huts that we don't know about.
Yeah, and also I think Will Murray can testify to some of that bi-curiosity. Not that it might have been reciprocated, I'm not saying that, but I think Will's got a couple stories to tell.
He's been hit on.
Yes, he has, whereas I am not curious at all when it comes to the males.
Is there any price tag? You mentioned what's in it for me. Is there a price tag? We're talking...
Greg, I guess the clearest way I could put it is you could have Rush come in here, play in that studio, and I would not kiss Richard or any other guy to see it. So, and that's a big thing for me to say, as you know.
Ronnie, let's start brainstorming.
Brainstorming?
What's it going to take? You mentioned the question, what's in it for you?
Come
Let's
on.
name some of your dream camps.
You know what it is.
NASCAR.
Everybody knows here what it is. Everybody knows. If you can't figure it out, you're pretty stupid.
There's one thing that you want.
One thing I want back.
A certain
plugs.
A certain tour?
No, certain plugs.
Yeah. Interesting. Richard.
There you go. He wants Metallica, I want something else.
Why the hesitation? Why the hesitation with Ronnie? I mean, he's a sexy older man, obviously. Why the reservation? Is it sort of the same as the high-pitched Mike theory that tongue's been all over town?
No, it's just that I think Ronnie would get too into it, and I'd have to really do it. Like if I made out with John Hine, he'd hold back a little, and I wouldn't have to. It wouldn't be very passionate. I think with Ronnie, it'd get really passionate, and he'd pull me in.
What about Nick Rucker?
I wouldn't be able to get away.
He likes to make out with guys.
No. No
Yeah,
thanks,
he
Stu.
does. No, he does. He does.
I make out with him privately.
Yeah, I know.
We'll wait for the Christmas party.
So
Yeah,
Richard,
I know you make out with him.
What you're saying is if you pair up with Ronnie, you run the risk of losing dominant alpha male status.
Yeah,
you might
I
get
think
dominant.
Ronnie's going to be the takeover.
I'm ready, man. But I want what I want out of it. Okay.
Ronnie,
you might just bend me over.
Ronnie, you're a tattoo-loving, skull T-shirt wearing guy. Why are you so willing to?
Because I believe in my cause, just like
Okay.
he believes in his cause.
So you
I have a
don't-
cause.
You don't think it speaks to your sexuality if you're willing to do
Fuck
something
that.
for a cause?
Fuck that.
Yeah, it doesn't
Fuck
make you.
that.
It doesn't make.
I'll make
you
out with
gay.
Richie Wilson too with his shittings.
It doesn't make you gay. It's just a goofy stunt.
My name is 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄. If you were partying on the Manhattan Bridge this past weekend, you might know me as Alexander. And we're going to tell the story of what it's like coming out of Brooklyn and the hustle making it to the top.
So why are you looking forward to telling your story to Howard Stern of all people?
I feel like I have a weird mind. I feel like there are a few people who understand exactly what it is that I'm trying to say. I feel like this is one of these guys that I can relate to.
All right, good luck in there today, Alex.
Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you, sir.
Xander is here. Xander is the guy that threw the party on the Manhattan.
Is he called himself Xander or is it
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
So does he call himself Alex? He calls himself Alex, right?
Yeah. So he throws these parties through his Facebook page. He puts out where to go and blah blah blah. The party on the Manhattan Bridge had 1,000 people. He got arrested. Him and the 2 DJs that were on it. That's where the notoriety came from. So he's going to court in September, but he's like, oh, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. I think the judge is going to see that, and hopefully I'll get
Maybe
off.
everyone can just start throwing parties on a bridge every
I was thinking I'd throw one on the middle of the LIE.
So what's interesting about him, though, is he's a self-made millionaire.
Right.
He founded a toy company when he was 15. It's basically, his biggest thing is this one plane that's like a boomerang. You toss
I've seen that. They sell it on the street.
Yeah, well...
They just throw them and they come back?
Exactly.
He invented that?
He got him in Bed Bath & Beyond and Walmart and,
30 hours.
Built his company that way.
I remember when I first started seeing them in stores, I was like, how the fuck did that happen?
He's a smart kid.
This kid dropped by. His name is Alex Xander. Alex Xander.
Xander?
It's kind of an interesting dude. He's 19 and he's already he's worth $1 million something bucks.
Really?
Yeah.
And nobody gave it to him? He earned it?
Hey, Alexander. Hey, man. Hey, now.
He doesn't look like a millionaire.